Question whether or not I'm here for truth. Question if I was a real flat earther or not. Well, the reality of it is there are no flat earthers. There are only globe deniers. Every flat earth evidence really is just a globe phenomenon, explained by the globe. Don't you see that? See, I'm still here for truth. And now there are certain people in my way. What is up, party people? All right, gonna be a fun one. Nothing really planned, so we're gonna do the open panel, open topic. One of the things I did wanted to preface is I kind of wanted to go to the what if idea of this whole conversation that we have. There are certain things that are obviously, how do you say, realistic, and then there are things that are very much so not realistic in how a lot of flat earthers think things work. Kind of heard a little bit of it, or lately, a lot more about gravity. Yesterday, I heard Montreal talking to Khalib, I think his name is, if I remember correctly. If I destroyed that, I do apologize. And it became very clear where the path of the conversation always leads to with Montreal, and that would be, open, closed, isolated system. And before I start on that topic, it's very clear, it's something that needs to be done every time we have these conversations, is that it needs to be clarified what scale we're talking. For instance, when we're talking about open closed system, it matters to what we're talking about, the context of what we're talking about. What do I mean? This. Okay, well, if we're talking about rockets, we're talking about launching rockets, satellites, we're talking about meteorites, or meteors and become meteorites. All these things encompass a open system. It's matter. But when we're talking physics, we're talking our gases, we're talking the particles that are in our system, that are of a accumulation of in our system. It's a closed system. It's pretty simple. It can be both because it's two different applications for the concept. Now we're talking isolated. We don't live in an isolated system. We would need to have a dome. I think 90% of flat earthers don't believe in a dome anymore. But more importantly, the only thing that we can even close to assume or think or anything about a isolated system, we would consider that the universe. Why? Because we don't. I guess science would theorize that there's no outside interference in the system, therefore it'd be isolated. But I don't know. I'm pretty damn sure science is going to tell you they don't know 100%. It's just a conceptual idea of isolation, of an isolated system, better yet. But yeah, kind of wanted to get into that today, where it's kind of one of those things where it's okay. Well, why do you think your theories or your ideas or your hypothesis are valid? I'm sorry, are valid to the discussion. Yeah, a lot of us don't know all there is to know about science and the different aspects that bring up all the accumulated knowledge that we have. But you got to start somewhere, and your understanding always starts at zero, and it will never reach 100. So you should always be looking into things. Things should be changing how you think of them and how you thought they were. And those are the natural progressions of understanding. F flat Earth or F globe. It's the get my microphone. Move this out the way. It's literally just a situation of realizing you don't understand it and making those steps to start understanding things without just having an argument because it doesn't sound feasible in your mind. Okay, let me go and say what's up to everybody in the chat because I have not done that yet. That I will be over at the Discord. If you want to join the panel, it's very simple. Down in the description, go to the Bunker Discord server, and I'll get you verified and good to go. Let's see here. There it is. What is up, Truth Stands Alone? What's up, Sean Hawkins? What's up, Lori? What's up, farmers? I see you over in Discord. I'll be there in a half a second. What is up, RT? How you doing? What is up? Let me see down this list. What's up, G Hammer? What's up, Skyfly? What's up, Pip? How you doing? I think that's it. Let me keep going. What's up, Digital Prison? What's up, GPS? What's up, John? And yes. Okay. Let me see who else was here. What's up, Wolfgang? What's up, B-Ball? How you doing, sir? What's up, Secret G? What's up, Wolfgang? I think I already said that. What's up, Tusk? And what's up, Darkseed? How you doing, sir? Let me see. I think that is it. That is it for now. All right. So let me get over to the Discord. What's up, farmers? What's up, GPS? Let me turn your volume up on my end. Oh, let me unmute you. There we go. Always forget to do that.
Right. There's no point turning my volume up if I'm muted.
Yeah. All right. So hang on. Yes, John, I got your friendly hello. Wolfgang says, "Are there any COVID patients in your circle?" If you mean my community, yes. Who do I know them? No, I don't know anyone that actually has it. Digital prison. I don't know if that is accurate. What's up, Jose? Yeah. Okay. So a lot has definitely changed when it comes to the COVID situation. For one, I know they're talking about there's definitely going to be a stimulus paycheck. So good on America for that, right?
Yeah. That's not going to happen over here, I don't think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's been no talk of it. So.
Are you guys on lockdown?
Yep.
Wow.
The only bit of useful news I heard today is that any vehicle, any car or motorbike that needs an MOT after the 30th of March has got an extra 6 months.
Well, okay, I see. That's like so that's the other thing. So and that's odd because here in America, I mean, from maybe week one, it was if we don't go to work, what are you going to do for us? How are we going to be able to survive and all that stuff? So it's been a talk for a while here, but that was the number one thing. It's like if we can't work, how are we supposed to survive? I know around here, whether it be like I know our electric companies are gonna do something. They haven't done anything yet, but they're talking about it. Cell phone companies aren't charging right now. I'm like 2 weeks past my bill, and they're like, no, don't worry about it. Um,
No, I've not seen anything from utilities companies or anything like that. The only thing I've seen, like I say, is it's the MOTs. It's the yearly is your vehicle roadworthy, and they're basically just sort of said from the 30th of March onwards, if your vehicle, be it a car or a motorbike, needs an MOT, you've now got another 6 months, which is quite useful because both my car and my motorbike need MOTing within the first half of April, and I know where I take my motorbike is shut up tight and solid because I went past there the other day and all the all the roller shutter doors are down. It's like, oh, that answers that question, and they're not open.
yeah, yeah, and that's
So now I don't have to worry about it for 6 months. I mean, the car will have to get done before then because it needs a new pair of front tyres and it could do with the service. So if they're going to do that, they might as well MOT it at the same time. And I think they're still open.
wait. So
Garages
that's like
are supposed to stay open.
is that like a safety check or registration?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Basically, the way it happens over here is if you go and buy a brand new car, for 3 years, you don't need to have anything done. You just have to tax and insure it, and that's it. Once a vehicle's 3 years old, you have to take it in for a annual. It is basically a safety check. It's what they call an MOT, and you basically making sure that the car is roadworthy, the brakes work, it's not rusting apart, the suspension works, the engine isn't chucking out a cloud of oil. Yeah, the seat belts work. Everything that makes it roadworthy is still roadworthy, and you have to have that done. You have to have that done every 12 months.
Wow. Not here in America. Here in America, it's your registration, and I think every 2 years. I don't know. I drove a diesel forever, so you have to get it
Same here.
smogged.
I've been driving diesel cars for years, and that one of the things they
Ugh.
check is particulates. So it's not chucking out too much soot.
I was talking about diesel trucks,
Mm-hmm.
the real vehicles.
So it's basically all vehicles. Any vehicle that's on the road has to have one of these checks, an MOT, Ministry of Transport.
Farmers said, am I supposed to have an MOT for my Land Rover then?
Not if it's old enough to be exempt.
Wow, really? Okay, so everyone in the chat saying that they have yearly safety inspection. Well, are you talking about your RT and GPS? Are you talking about your cars or
yeah, Sean. Certain states do require that
Oh,
every year.
I didn't know
Maryland
that.
has a mandatory state inspection when you first buy a vehicle, and then Iowa doesn't have any. Illinois doesn't have any. Missouri's got a safety inspection you have to have when you get plates.
But see, when that for us, the closest thing to a safety thing is smog.
No, you got to check here. You've got to check ball joints, brakes. You actually have to write down. I took the test a while back, but there's no money to be made in it. So
I wonder if that's because you guys get snow and heat. The rapid difference. You actually have seasons. Is what I want to say.
Well, I suppose you.
It's quite possibly, but Illinois, where I'm from, you don't have to have anything. That thing can be rusting apart, and you can drive it down the street as long as it's got headlights and windshield wipers.
Yeah, see,
I mean,
they only do the registration and then the smog. What's up, Don?
I think it probably is something to do with that.
Smog, Sean.
Say it again, Crash?
So we don't even do smog testing unless you're in Chicago.
Well, they changed that everything here. You gotta actually smog a diesel now. It makes no fucking sense.
Yep. Here, where I live, we don't have to smog check anything. I can take a 50s Chevy V8 and throw it in a modern car if I want to, and nobody says a damn.
Damn.
Yeah, I could actually, in Illinois, with a rebuilder's license, I can take a race car and put it on the street if it's got headlights, taillights, and turn signals.
Yeah, see, we can do that, and you can get registration for that vehicle, but the second you go get it smogged and it doesn't pass, your registration voids.
We don't have smog checks.
That's crazy. What were you saying, John?
We have
I was going to say, when I was the last time I was in Queensland, Australia, I bumped into a guy in a the parking lot of a supermarket or something, and he had a Land Rover the same age as mine, which is 25 years old, and his vehicle was in really good condition compared to mine. And I think it is a thing in the UK, because the weather is so changeable, and winters are quite bad, and you've got loads of salt on the roads in the winter that corrodes so the UK MOT is really stringent. It's really harsh, and you've got to do it every year. And in Australia,
do you guys
you've got
have
like Australia, you've got like a sort of roadworthiness thing, I think, which you only need to do if you're buying or selling a car.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Do you guys have like lemon laws and all that shit?
I don't know what it is.
It's like so if someone sells you a crap car, you have a grace period no matter what to return the car.
Yeah, so if I bought a car off a dealer and I had to put, in my state, if I have to put more than 30% of what the car's value is into the car in the first 60 days, they have to refund my money and what I put into the car.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember anything like that.
If you've got I mean, you would have, if you bought a car from a dealer, you would probably have some kind of comeback. But if you buy privately, it's sold as seen, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, if No, go ahead, farmers. Go ahead, farmers.
Yeah, if you there is it's called the Consumer Rights Act. If you buy from a registered trader, you have some degree of comeback. If somebody's flogging their car off their drive, a private sale, then basically it's sold as seen. If you buy a lemon, shit.
Yeah, here, if you're selling a car or a truck or pretty much anything like that, you have to put, if something's wrong with the vehicle, it's not a perfect condition vehicle, you put as is. Like, that's what you put in your sell. If you don't put that in, the lemon law applies.
Yeah,
no matter private or dealer, doesn't matter.
Yeah, so sold to see and buy beware.
Yeah, you have to state that.
If I sell Sean one of my vintage cars and I say it runs perfect, and I don't put as is in it, and Sean gets it home and the transmission's junk, I've either got to refund his money and he gets to keep the car, or I've got to put a transmission in the car.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that wouldn't happen over here because it's a private sale, and you've got no comeback on it. It's down to you. If you're buying privately, then the onus is on you to make sure that you're not buying a crap car in the first place.
Well, what it is it protects people, because I know, or here in California, there was a few situations where it was talked about, and this is when they started passing that law, the lemon law. What would happen is that someone would get a vehicle or sell a vehicle saying it runs. You get there, and all they're pretty much liable to do, or all they really need to do, is make sure when you get here, the car starts, and when you get in the car, it moves. And then after that, it's not my fucking problem. And people were doing that, and then used car dealerships were doing that, and that's why the lemon law in California passed so easily.
Yep, and what I've got, everything I sell, I put a driveway clause on it. If it leaves my driveway running, it's your problem after that. But it's in the contract when I sell the damn thing. So.
Exactly, and it's as simple as sold as is. That's all you got to do. If you put that in your, if you have that as a record of something, like someone goes, "Hey, that car was a piece of shit," dude, I said as is. You can you can bring that to court, and it'll work.
Yep.
You also sell, on a bill of sale, you would also, that's where you're putting as is, and they're signing it.
I'm just going to let you hear the reassuring sound of 2.5 liter 300 TDI Land Rover engine.
Damn, that thing's old.
No shit.
so there.
But they run like a beast, though. That's for damn sure.
Oh, fuck. The reason I got this was it's the 300 TDI is the last Land Rover that was produced that doesn't have any electronics in it. It doesn't have an engine management system or anything. So I mean, if it goes wrong, you can just take it apart.
really nothing wrong with the engine management system if you know how the basics work on it. It's just a closed loop system. It'll tell you everything that's wrong with it without taking it to the dealer.
That's the best part about it. That's why I like it. Like the older engines, because you're able to just, it's something. It's never going to be a stupid little wire, stupid fucking harness, or a stupid fucking sensor that throws everything off. I hate
It's like the farm truck we're working on out here right now. It's a 96 Dodge Ram 1500 that has a bad ground somewhere. It has no fuel injector pulse, but if I pour gas down its throat, it'll run all damn day long. So I got to figure that out.
Sounds fun.
Hey, check this out. My grandmother. I'm sorry, were you about to say something?
No, I was gonna say go ahead. We're hearing feedback. Doesn't talk.
So my grandmother had a car. I think she drove this car for freaking 20 years, right? And she only had 50,000 miles on it.
Damn. Those are like.
And now. Go ahead.
Well, you got to mute yourself. Yeah, there. Yeah, because those are like, what I like to do is I'm always on a search for like a 4x4 truck or something like that. It's like a buyer's, like, it's like a wet dream. Is a person that's in their 60s, 70s that is selling a car that has no miles on it, and they're selling it cheap, and you're like, holy shit, I'm in heaven. And you got to race to it and buy it.
I had to dig up pictures, Sean. When I was in college, I answered an ad in the newspaper for a vintage Chevrolet, and I got there and it was a 58 Corvette that a little old lady.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, now my grandmother has a freaking, I think it's like a 2013. When she bought it, it only had 1,500 miles on it. Now it's 2020, and it only has 5,000 miles on it. She doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, older people don't drive. They just,
No, they don't.
Those Sunday drivers are the best. Was it about 10 years ago, a buddy of mine got probably the best deal I've ever seen in my life. You know, the H3s, the Hummers, they're the smaller version. He was looking online. He was trying to find a pickup truck, and he came across, at the time, it was brand new. It was like 2000. It was like a 2011, I think it was the end of the year or something. But it was brand new. Had at best 11,000 miles on it at best, and he got that for fucking $8,000 because the lady's husband died, and she just was just trying to get rid of everything. It was just like, wow.
Hey, Sean, you'd bust a nut over Granddad's truck right now. It's an 01 F350 Super Duty diesel 4-wheel drive with 48,000 miles on it.
Wow. Was it a farm truck?
Yeah. He barely uses it. All it does is haul fucking trailer from point A to point B. Yeah,
a buddy of mine got a few vehicles off of a farm guy, took his trucks, and the only problems with those were typically a farming truck, you got really bad rust corrosion because they just sit, and maybe wires because of animals, but the engines and trannies are always fucking sound.
Oh yeah, it's the only state I hate buying stuff out of is Texas. Them motherfuckers don't fix heater cords. They just bypass them, and then you drag them up here, and you spend 4 days ripping a dash apart to replace it.
Yeah, I learned to buy my first one. Was an '87 F250 Ford. It was my first bypassing of a heater core. Smell like, all you start smelling is marshmallows. That's what it smells like, marshmallow. I'm like, oh, great.
Yep, and the new modern dashes are a bitch to get out.
Yeah, aren't those like under the they're in the dash, but they're basically under the wiper motor or some shit like that?
Oh yeah, they're fucking buried. You gotta take, so I'll use Ford as example. It's the last one I did. You have to take the entire dash and subframe out for the dash, and then you have to get underneath the hood and get like 27 million 10 millimeter wing nuts off so that you can pull the heater core box through the interior to get it out, and then put it on the bench and take a bunch of 8 millimeter screws out so you can replace the fucking heater core.
Yeah, I had to change the ICP sensor on my F250. That's the worst.
That's a fun job. I hate the new diesels. I hate putting injectors in the fucking Fords.
Yeah, see, me and my pops at the time, we made a deal. We were like, anything after 2004, goes to Ford. It's not even worth our time. Well, I think I told you about my F-150, the injector problem that I had in it, the inverted injector. Yeah. After that happened, I was like, "Fuck that! That makes no fucking sense."
I think the craziest one I've worked on was I had a Ford Mustang come in the shop that as soon as you turned the key on, it would hydrolock it.
Ooh.
It had a dead short, so as soon as you turned the key, all the injectors would open up and it just filled the cylinders with fuel.
Incredible.
That took like 2 weeks to track down what the fuck was going on with. That was not.
That's after the fuel pump, though, right? Was that what that was?
No, it was a dead short on the ground side of the fuel injectors, so they just opened all of them open. It was weird as fuck. It was like as soon as you turn the key, fuel pump comes on, locks the cylinders up, car won't.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a safety. Yeah. Okay, I see. That makes sense.
Or the funnest one I ever did that I made the most money off of is it was my first job at a dealership, and this teenage girl bought a convertible Pontiac Sunfire. And every time she went to the mall, the battery went dead, but only when she went to the mall.
What the fuck?
That took forever to figure out. I ended up checked everything out 3-4 times, couldn't find nothing wrong with the car. Put a new battery in it, same issue, but it would only go dead when she was at the mall. What's a teenage girl do before she gets out the car at the mall?
Fucking makeup and every other fucking thing in the mirror.
Yep, and the passenger side visor had to flip down with the light up short in it. So when she flip it down and go in the mall
and short it out,
short the battery, and the battery would go dead, but only when she was at the.
I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh, dude, I test drove the car for 2-3 days and couldn't get it to act up. Tried everything we could to replicate the problem.
That's because you do your makeup at home.
3 days later. Yeah, she'd call us 2-3 days later because her car battery was dead at the mall again. It's, what the fuck?
It makes no sense.
No,
that's funny.
That's the type of shit where you have to think out of the box and figure out what's going on.
Yep. All right, I know I'm probably boring we're probably boring people. Anybody else want to have a topic that you want to discuss? What's up, Tony? How you doing?
What's up, man? What's up, guys?
Have you heard anything back from modern day debate yet?
Not since the message I sent or I read a few days ago. The one saying he said that he's down to do it. He's got to talk to Travis, and in 2 to 3 weeks. They'll do it because they've had Travis on so many times. I told him, yeah, I know you've had him on a lot. That's true, but the people you have debating him aren't me. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Did you watch that video from yesterday?
Which one?
The one by Mr. Sensible talking about the guy saying about the moon, the fucking wolf biting the moon.
I didn't. I completely forgot.
Oh yeah. Yes, but that guy he's got a very appropriate name, hasn't he? Why you are an idiot? Yeah, why are you an idiot?
That's like you said that yesterday, and it just blew my mind. I'm surprised. Like I think my mind that don't remember that. Just run.
If I was going anywhere, I was running.
Exactly.
You should put Travis in a philosophical rear naked choke.
I would. I'd be like, hey Travis, I gotta show you something. No, that's the thing. It's weird because I was gonna go let's do that now. Jose, I apologize for not waking up in time. I didn't go to bed until super fucking late, and so I didn't wake up until super fucking late. I apologize. Did Travis show up on the channel on Jose's?
No.
Okay, I don't feel bad then.
Not today.
Travis has this new thing where he's just thinking he's somebody because he gets on these big debate shows with like Fight the Flat Earth and Modern Day Debate. He doesn't want to do the small debates anymore or small.
Well, here's that's the thing.
Premiere yesterday.
Say again.
He had a premiere yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And I think he maxed out at 4 viewers.
Yeah, he keeps doing those Swan G shit. And again, here's the thing. It's literally the same shit over.
Yes.
And over.
Just repackaged.
And over.
Well, not even repackaged.
No,
just the same shit.
Yeah, he'll just word something a little different here or there, or make it more relevant to that day. But Travis, he keeps doing the same ones. It's either going to be the Red Roof, or it's going to be the fucking the Anacapa Island boat.
Yeah, wait, he just started going on cam too, didn't he? Because I didn't see him before. I didn't know he was like a 50-year-old balding guy. He sounds like a 20-year-old fucking.
Yeah. Well,
dumb.
it was very shocking the first time I saw him too. He's
Yeah.
always had his camera turned on. It's always been on. But I'm sure if you saw him, you know, he sits right off the camera. And every blue moon he'll back into the camera or something like that. But yeah, I mean, but he'll go on camera every blue moon.
Beautiful mustache.
It's of the 4 people he had watching, one of them was my sock account. So
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's
in all his glory.
and like I said, I'm not gonna go over there and entertain his shit.
No.
I've done it before, and it runs the same way. It's just the only difference is when it gets down to curvature and all that kind of crap, he ends the streams or fucking it's late night. Something always happens. I don't like going to his streams because I don't want to say this, but I don't want to be talking to myself.
if you present any opposing evidence to Travis, he shuts down his stream or starts having magical stream issues, or he just blocks you and boots you.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell because, and I've had to say this before, not to Travis, this is to someone else I was trying to debate with over here. If and I've heard, I don't think this isn't Travis's argument. This actually was Chemo's argument. Chemo's argument was, you don't have 1,000 subs. And at the time I didn't. Then I had 1,000 subs. And then he was like, there's not enough people watching. And that does kind of matter. But here's the thing about my streams. And I think someone was saying it some last time I streamed. And in my rant, I was saying something. But yeah, if I wanted to get numbers, I could do it. I put in what I want. And all I want to do is hang out and chill and talk to you guys. I don't need 100 people. I told you this 1,000 times. If I had 100 people watching right now regularly, I feel like I had more pressure to do better. I just want to hang out and talk. Fuck, I got a job. This isn't my job. This is a hangout.
If you just admit to everybody that it's actually my channel, your subscribers will go through the fucking roof, Sean.
Shut up, John.
I will admit, John Watson is a flat earther.
Who told me to shut up? Who told me to shut up there?
I did.
Crash.
Yeah.
Where's my fucking patch? Where is it?
I sent you a DM and told you to send me an address, and you were drunk and never did it. So I don't know.
I was drunk. How fucking dare you?
Wait.
How dare you?
Hey, John, how is he supposed to send you a... How's he supposed...
I don't know.
How's he supposed to send you something if you don't send him your address?
That's not my problem.
Where's my patch? Oh, jeez, John. Yeah, so yesterday. Yesterday was an eventful day for you, John.
Not really. Well, in YouTube world, I suppose it was. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll put it this way. So Jose said, Sean, you got to go watch the beginning of the premiere, or his premiere he did live last night. So I did, which made me want to go see what started all this. So I went back and listened to the live. So I've watched from halfway to the end of yesterday's live stream, and then the whole thing of the after show. John, you fucking walked right into that bitch slap Q gave you.
Oh yeah.
Like it was just like,
yeah.
It was just like, yeah. And yesterday I was watching the live premiere that Jose did, and I'm watching. I'm going, damn, like John's super fucking stressed out. I even DM'd you. All jokes aside, I got your back. You need an ear, I got you. But
hey y'all,
you jumped into that shit like a damn fool.
Well, yeah, it's kind
And
of
she's
it's
here.
kind of like I know this wire's live, but I just feel I've got to grab hold of it and just see if it's going to hurt as much as I think it's going to hurt.
And did it hurt?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
It didn't really hurt, no, but it was just
Hey, so,
I was really fucked off anyway. I wasn't in a very good mood, and
No shit.
hey, John,
Yeah.
John, Truth
Yeah.
Stands Alone helped you out. Crash, this is John's address. Scottish flat earther, not Dale, the other one, Scotland, England.
At AOL.com.
I'm gonna find him.
Hey,
I'm
Nicole,
gonna find him.
how you doing?
Hey, Nicole.
It's yeah. You're laughing.
Playing nice today.
You're
Yeah.
laughing now, but
So far.
it's all fun and games till somebody's eye comes out. That's all I've got to say. My battery's going to run out imminently. By the way, so when I disappear,
no.
I'm not. Just want to say, I'm not. When it does, I'm not rage quitting. Right?
Okay.
I'm not rage quitting. Yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere just now.
So what John is really trying to say, let me translate. He's not drunk enough to rage quit over some stupid shit.
Oh, he's not drunk at all.
No.
He's driving,
Am I?
and I don't suspect John to be a fucking idiot.
He's drunk off life.
Dumb as
Oh, no,
shit.
I am.
Dumb as shit, but not a fucking idiot.
No, I am slightly drunk, and I am driving, but I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not on.
I tried to
public
defend you,
roads.
John. I was defending you.
No,
You just
I don't
fucked
drink.
it up.
I would never drink. I would never drink and drive on public roads. But I mean, I'm up in the hills.
What happens if you hit a beaver that's crossing the road?
I don't think they have beavers. Do you guys have
I
beavers
don't have
there?
beavers. No,
Okay.
no.
What happens when
Um,
that telephone pole jumps out in front of you?
A wild, majestic.
You got to try to swerve it and make sure you don't hit the telephone pole next to it.
I reckon the Land Rover would fare better than the telephone pole, to be honest. But
Probably.
yeah.
How about you
But,
just stop driving and just sit there? Why don't you go buy a fucking cell phone charger later?
Because when he plugs it into the Land Rover, it's going to freak out because there's no technology.
You can hire a flat
Oh,
earther
no.
to drive for you. They don't have
No, it's
jobs.
good. It's I just don't have a charger in the Land Rover.
For being in the middle of nowhere, that doesn't seem very smart.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you're not sounding smart to me anymore. Going into it, Sean, hyped you up, but it's all starting to crumble now.
I didn't
I
hear you.
know.
I was talking to my
He's
son.
such a terrible flat earther, John is.
Oh, John. Yeah, you're not that great of a flat earther, but you're loyal to him. I get it.
Yeah, you get it.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
You're fucking gonna get it.
Okay, so Tuss says that they reintroduced the beaver in Scotland a few years ago.
Yeah, they did in certain places, but I've never seen one. I don't know anyone
Wait,
that's ever seen one.
time out.
Thank you.
I said, is there beavers? And you said no.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But then I said, Tusk says beavers were reintroduced to Scotland a few years ago, and you go, yeah.
You've been beavered.
No, I mean there's like a couple of places where they've tried to reintroduce them, but they're not a native animal to Scotland anymore.
I didn't ask if they were
But
native. John.
hopefully they will be. That would be great.
I didn't say, are beavers native to
Sean,
Scotland?
Sean, if I could get you, I would crush your
here's the
neck to the
problem.
width of a fucking pencil.
Here's
Honestly,
here's a problem, John. One, you can't drive here. Two, you can't get on a boat.
You're fucking-
And three,
really?
you can't. Hell no, you ain't flying here. You ain't let nobody. First of all, John, you are a direct carrier monkey, thanks to your girl.
yeah.
So therefore, John,
I
no,
actually
you're not
think-
getting on a plane.
I actually think that I think that I might have already had.
Wait a minute, we
COVID-19.
got another problem. So Tess
What's
here
that?
says that they are native to Scotland. They were just hunted to extinction in 100 years ago, and
Yeah.
But see,
Yeah, they
that
were
would still,
they were native.
yeah.
They
That would
were
make them,
native.
yeah. But if
Yeah,
they
so are
reintroduce them,
wolves.
if they reintroduce them, then they're native. And when they reintroduce wolves, they're native. They try to get the wolves that were in that area. And if not, then they're not native.
In fact, the
Here's
last
the problem
wolf.
with that native idea. If they weren't native, then we'd have a serious problem, because then you would have Australia problems. We would have our fucking crazy numbers of deer or mountain lions and shit like that. Like, dude,
Sorry.
Sounds like Pete Shea theory.
Yeah, he's flat Earth in the discussion. How you doing, Chris?
Just to say, actually, the last wolf that was ever seen in Scotland was seen about 5 miles west of where I am right now. To say,
We have coyotes where I live in Texas, in our neighborhood.
Yeah, you guys have an open season for coyotes too, don't you?
So
I mean,
Wiley.
No,
I don't know how it works, but I've seen coyotes between houses, like eating dead rabbits and stuff. Or we have a rabbit, I don't know what to call it, over rabbit population here, and because of that, the coyotes that were still around when all the houses were being built, they come out to hunt the rabbits. They're generally treated as safe, but about a summer or 2 summers ago, they were attacking people, like joggers and stuff. So it got kind of out of hand. It was pretty crazy.
I mean, they were hungry.
Yeah. Well, I feel we pushed them off. People obviously.
Oh, trust me.
Around.
I live in California. We have we don't have an infestation of coyotes or nothing, but I mean, yeah, like you were saying, we kind of built over where they're at. So our coyotes are everywhere, canyons everywhere around our houses. So it's pretty common to see a coyote at night. But here, realistically, the only ones you have to worry about are your small dogs. Small dogs get
I'm going.
Peace. Have a good one, John. Be safe.
See you, John.
But I'm not gonna stay long, but I just wanted to jump on and say, hey, what are your thoughts on this whole Corona thing? Is it so? Just to give you my opinion real quick, and then I'm interested in yours. I would say it's more than likely maybe a real thing, a real virus, but I'm 100% convinced that they not only blew this out of proportion, but probably did it on purpose, blew it out of proportion on purpose, and are now using that. Basically the government's created this economic crisis problem, and now they're coming in, swooping in as the savior with this $2 trillion bill, right? You see what I'm saying? It's like they caused the problem, and then they came up with a solution, and now everyone's like, oh, thank you.
This is how they're implementing the New World Order.
Well, Chris, I agree with parts of what you said, but here's what the main crux of it is. I think what happened is it came to the media, brought it out, and we're so used to the media hyping it, and the media hyped it at first. They hyped the shit out of it, and so what happened is everyone went, it's just media. I think what ended up happening is everyone, and I think the governments are even saying it themselves, or a lot of them are coming out and saying it, that they dropped the ball. Where we usually go, okay, the media is hyping it up. We should have taken it more seriously. And now I think the governments are playing catch up on their fuck up. The numbers, I think, are accurate. I think now the problem is that where the governments realize they fucked up and didn't step up when they needed to, I think it's now the biggest problem we're going to have is now the people, us, fucking listening and actually fucking quarantining themselves so that it doesn't.
Yeah, but here's what I don't get, Sean. Here's what I don't get. This is no different than any virus or disease we've ever had before. How many viruses have there been over the last 15 years? There was H1N1, swine flu.
No, okay. If we didn't have a flu vaccine, a lot more people, I mean, hundreds of thousands more, would be dying every year. And then we come to this COVID-19, the problem is that we don't have any way of fighting it. We don't know how. We haven't had to deal with it yet. It's because it's in the same family as a fucking common cold, doesn't mean that it's not on the higher spectrum of that family, more dangerous of that family. The biggest issue is that we don't have a way of fighting against it, and even worse, preconditions, people die of the. You could only imagine how simple it is to die if you have a condition of something else. Your body is in fucking full fight mode 24/7.
Yeah, but this is not new, and we've never shut down world economies because of a virus. How
It
many
never
people
spread.
Because of
worldwide
the
die
way
from
it's
the
spreading.
flu every
Yeah.
year?
Well, that's
No,
the thing.
that's
So
bullcrap.
Yeah,
You can
but-
catch the flu.
the
You
flu-
can catch
hold
the
on.
flu the same way.
you're right.
No, but the flu doesn't spread like this. This is
Yeah.
like
Absolutely, it does.
you can have this for like a week or two and not even know it and still spread it.
Yeah,
The flu doesn't move like that.
Well, here's the thing: is
Well,
we haven't. Well, Chris, we
the
haven't had
flu
a
is
time.
airborne.
Well, here's the thing: we haven't had it with the flu, cold, fucking. It doesn't matter. All these, there's a lot of things you can get that we've seen, and we know we've built antibodies. What's the word? Fuck.
Immunity.
Yeah. We've built an immunity to them thanks to the vaccines and the stuff that we get for flus and all these other crap, right? So this is like going, okay, it looks like the flu, but when we do stuff, when we give you a flu vaccine, it acts as if it does nothing for it. This is brand new. They've never made. There's nothing on the market that they've made that can do anything with it because they've never seen it before. It's just they know it's in that same family. Now, when you're talking the spread, because that's the other situation. If you go look at what, and this is exactly what the problem was. You look at the coronavirus family, and you look at how they spread, the time it takes to infect somebody, or blah 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 blah. When SARS came out and all that stuff happened, they went, okay, we got to do this. Those didn't spread as fast, so they were able to lock it down, figure out ways to get people safe and everything.
Sean,
what?
I don't know why you're toting the government party line on this.
I'm not at all. The problem
you
is,
are.
Chris, okay,
when
Chris,
does the government give two shits about people in the street, homeless people, sick people, old people, fat people? They don't give a crap.
Chris,
only when
said
there's
this
a
before.
crisis
Okay.
that they can feed off of do
Chris,
they care.
How many pandemics have you lived through in the United States?
I mean, if you count like over the last 15 years, a bunch of them.
One, name them.
All viruses that they said were going to sweep the world and kill everyone, and that didn't happen.
No. We've never. And I can remember. We haven't had a pandemic where everything was quarantined and locked down.
No, we haven't. Now,
There has
been viruses.
That's my point. That's my point. Why have they never done that?
Okay, how about this? Okay, do you understand that the flu isn't as dangerous as the Ebola virus?
The last pandemic we had was beaver fever.
I don't know what that is.
I don't believe the Ebola. Well, let me see.
You don't believe in the Ebola, man? You need to.
No. Hold on, I want to look.
But that distinction right there is exactly why we're in a situation. Us, the people,
we're in a situation because the government and media hyped it, scared everyone, and now economies and are collapsing. People are losing jobs.
No, wait. First of all, no, they're
income.
not. They're actually.
I mean, are you doubting that this is a real thing?
About Sean, I know people personally who have been affected financially and economically because of this.
and so you also know about the stimulus package, right?
Stimulus is okay. Get this: for $2 trillion for 1 month, the majority of people who qualify are going to get between $1,500 and $3,000. 1
you just
month.
Hype the shit.
What happens if this? What happens if this
Chris,
goes
Chris,
through?
Chris,
Sean?
you just hype the shit out of those numbers. Try again.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's 12 to 15 per adult, $500 per kid.
Yeah, up to 75,000. If you make over
Right.
75,000,
I said on average between 1,500 and 3,000. That's nothing. It's for 1 month. What if this goes through April and May and June? Like people are going to start dying because of economic crisis.
Wait.
So worried about
Chris, do you have a car? Do you have any car payments, cell phone payments, anything like that?
Sorry.
You have car payments, cell phone payments,
Absolutely.
bills. Okay, how many of those bills have sent you a pay now order?
I mean, I have to pay all my bills this month.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so your cell phone, they're forcing you to pay this month.
Yes.
You should really call your cell phone provider because I think 90% of the providers are aren't charging people for the month. There's a lot of things that are going into step. First of all, Chris, I said this earlier.
Even if that's true, that's not enough, Sean.
How many pandemics have we lived through? And trust me, Chris, we haven't lived through this type of pandemic. That means we're everything's kind of going.
There's nothing happening, Sean. There's nothing happening. It's normal.
Nothing's happening.
Like, there's no pandemic. Where's the pandemic?
Earth.
Are you freaking high as fuck?
Where? Point me to the pandemic.
Everywhere. Turn everywhere you look.
Where are the overrun hospitals? Where are the zombies in the streets? Where's the pandemic, Sean?
Wait, don't go to the hospitals because
I've seen videos of people going to hospitals.
Yeah.
I've seen people go to hospitals and there's like nobody there.
Where have you gone?
You know what Sean? Do you know what the suggested method to get TV is?
What?
It's to stay home. Do you know that, Sean? It's to stay home and rest.
Yeah, don't go out and spread it. What the fuck?
Right.
You act like
so where's the pandemic?
Wait. Why is the flu season such a big deal? Do you think that's fake too, Chris?
No, the flu is real. That's why I'm saying. What's the difference?
Why is COVID-19 not real?
50,000 people die a year from flu. Why aren't we calling a pandemic?
Oh, a lot more
50,000
from the flu because we can control.
Worse.
We can control how that works.
No, we can't.
Chris,
no, it's 50,000 or more.
Chris, the people who die from the flu, what's their age brackets? Do they have preconditions? I guarantee 95% of them do. I guarantee it.
Right, and it's the same for coronavirus. Most of the people dying or even getting symptoms have preconditions.
Yes. Who do you think's more susceptible
to
anything?
You're making my point.
How?
You're making my point.
How?
It's just like the flu. How many times have you had the flu?
It's literally not
like a dozen over your life.
It's literally a virus that we've never had to deal with, and that's why it is getting as
I'm
bad.
I'm saying that the repercussions and consequences and who it affects are about the same. Old people and people with preconditions.
No, because we can go get a flu vaccine. You can't. There's no way to get a coronavirus vaccine or a COVID-19 vaccine. There's no way. They haven't.
You don't. Most people don't need one.
Most people do need one.
Percent of people who are going to be affected.
What are you talking about? Chris, look at the numbers for the flu. Look at the numbers that people that die. Look at the numbers of the population, and you will see that the flu is not as bad as this COVID-19 situation.
Sean, listen, all I'm telling you
I don't think you've done enough. I don't think you've done enough research on this actual virus
You sound like
I mean, I've done as much research as anybody else about it.
Haven't.
Yeah,
no, you haven't.
Do you know it's 10 times worse than the flu?
That's what the media says.
No, that's what the doctors are saying. That's what the medical profession is saying.
There's a lot of doctors saying it's been way overhyped.
Chris,
tons of people saying it's been way overhyped.
Yeah, here's the best part. You said it perfectly. The media hyped it, and it was like the government's trying to fix its shit. That's exactly what the fuck happened. Everyone looked at the media like they were just hyping some bullshit. Even the government did. And guess what happened? We're in Shit's Creek because we all fucking went, it can't be that fucking bad.
Can I ask Chris a question?
Absolutely.
No.
Has he got that bored with copying Travis that he just wants to come in here and shitstir by copying the same shit that Timmy Osmond did yesterday?
Yeah.
Is that really all you have, Chris, that you do not have the ability to research a simple subject and actually get one single fact correct?
Oh, so because Tim and I maybe agree, which I didn't hear it. Like I'm copying what he says because two people agree on this. Like there's millions of people that agree on this.
Chris, let me ask you something.
There's thousands of doctors that think
Chris,
it's hyped and causing massive economic damage.
Answer this and be honest. I want to know your sources of your information. Is it beyond YouTube?
The same. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Can you show me a source?
It's Twitter
for
too.
Any of the yeah. You're Chris. You're literally the hype You're like the hype mechanism. You're the reason hyping is.
Hey, Sean, listen. I'm the reason.
He never say it was a hoax. Tim Osman not even once say it was a hoax. You have to listen between.
I didn't say. Yeah, no one here even said Chris is saying that.
Matter
of fact, one person asked if he was, and he never answered. It wasn't about us. Chris, you're saying. And first of all, yeah. We were listening, Jose. He has made it very clear he thinks it's not real or not as real as it's happening. So, Chris, what's happening with COVID-19 then? Since you're the expert.
What I'm saying, listen. What I'm saying is they've I believe they've intentionally turned this into what you're calling a pandemic when there is no such pandemic happening. They've used that to justify the $2 trillion spending bill, for which is the most massive spending bill of all
Where
time
was that?
in any.
Yeah.
Are you
Wait,
serious?
time out. What was that spending bill for?
God, I can't even get 2 sentences out, guys.
What
Come on.
was the spending
I'm just
bill
trying to answer the
for?
question.
Yeah, because if you're going to stop bullshit, I'm going to stop it. We had this discussion last time, Chris. What was that spending bill for?
Well, that's
What
your
was it for?
opinion. I
What
can't
was
get
the-
my
wait,
opinion out
what
that you
was the
don't
$2
know.
trillion for?
It's most of it is going towards politicians.
Show me that
interest,
bullshit.
special
Show me it
interest
bullshit.
lobbies,
Bull
and
fucking
Wow.
shit. Show me bullshit. Show me.
But you haven't
I'm
looked into
sorry,
the bill,
Chris,
then,
but you
Sean.
I
say
have
you,
looked
you
into
say
those.
you
I've
are
listened.
a
Hang on,
person
hang
of
on, truth.
faith and
Hang
you
on,
are
truth.
nothing but
Hang
a
on,
liar.
truth. That's bullshit, Chris. Because here's the problem.
All right.
I actually,
Okay.
I didn't. None of my sources come from what people were saying on YouTube. None of my sources come from fucking Twitter. My sources come from watching the fucking legislation go back and forth talking about that shit. And I'm telling you right now,
Yep.
that $2 trillion fucking dollars is all going to this COVID-19 situation. The problem is the fucking basically the what happens after that. But that's how are we going to make sure this money goes somewhere? That money is going to nothing a politician wants for his
That's
own running.
so insanely
show
stupid,
me a
Sean.
fucking source.
Okay.
Show me a source. Otherwise,
All
you're
right.
just talking shit, Chris.
Where is the stimulus money going? Special interests. I think 75 million was earmarked for the arts programs. That'll really help the patients of Corona.
Put
Excuse me?
special interest in there, though. Why'd you put special interest?
What?
Because he has to.
Oh, because that's how you search something. Let's see here. Los Angeles, LA Times.
LA keep going. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's
So you didn't have any citation. You just had to look.
Guys,
through them.
Yeah, I know. 'Cause
here?
that's how I know.
I'll post it.
No, go
What?
ahead. Give us the information.
No, I've already read
Go
all
ahead.
this.
Read it.
This
Let us
says
know.
you might get 1,200 from the 2 trillion. What will special interest?
Okay,
give?
so
Let's see.
that so you're
880 pages.
So far, your source already calls bullshit on your fucking 3,000. Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, it's less than 3,000. That's in my
You said-
favor in my
Keep
point.
going. Keep going.
What's the real issue
sorry.
here,
Point in my
Chris?
head.
Is it that you have no means or
Chris
way to
thinks
provide for your family?
Chris
Some of
thinks
us plan
that
for
no one
it.
Chris thinks that not the numbers are fake. People may be getting sick, but it's not a deadly virus. They're just using it for the 2 trillion that goes to nothing to do with that. We're going to be somehow.
Listen, I'll read some. I'll read a couple off. These are the most quoted, and it's in here. The bill
The
includes
most quoted.
75 million each for the National Endowment for the Arts and the National Endowment for the Humanities. That's 150 million of our tax dollars for 2 arts programs. It also provides 7.5 million
Well,
for the
okay.
Smithsonian.
Now, what encompasses?
Shut up. Let me
No,
finish.
fuck you. I'm not
It
going to
also
shut up.
it also
'cause every time I
provides
ask you a question, you
7.5
keep
million for the
bullshitting shit.
Smithsonian. Because I can answer everything.
Okay,
I'm giving you cited
perfect.
sources, and now you're
Acting
upset
funny.
that I've proven you wrong.
You haven't
Really?
proven shit wrong
So,
at all, Chris. You're sitting here acting as if
God.
this is all such media hype. Okay, Chris. How many
And
hos-
25
how many
million for the
hospitals
Kennedy
how
Center for the
many
Performing
hospitals-
Arts.
I'm going back to my question. How
What?
many hospitals? How many places have you
Insane.
gone to see that no one's sick?
Some people have, and they've gone to hospitals with no one in them.
Where
And
have
they've
you
gone to
gone- no,
testing
Chris,
facilities with
Chris,
nobody in
what
line.
have you done? Where have you gone to see that no one's
Anything.
sick?
I don't have to do anything to understand stuff.
You don't have to do anything to call a hoax. You're right.
So I just proved you wrong that there's a
You
ton
didn't
of
prove
portion
shit
of
wrong.
spill that you didn't know about, and now you're
didn't
upset.
prove shit
100% I
wrong.
did. As
No,
usual.
because I was going
As
to
usual.
let me say it one more time. What encompasses those fucking groups? Because they're not just giving it to fucking people painting on pictures, dumbass. Fuck.
They're giving a lot of it to you. So
Yeah,
if you
have
took
no
the 2
so
trillion,
what encompasses
listen,
those? No,
Sean,
you listen. It's my
listen.
shit. What encompasses those art groups? What
I don't know what you
encompasses
mean by what
Okay,
encompasses.
when NASA gets their money, do you know they're not giving NASA the money, dumbass? They're giving it to the space agencies, the Space Institute, and they divvies it out. Okay, so in the art,
So
you're
ultimately,
talking,
NASA gets it. You're saying
what do you say?
ultimately NASA gets the money.
NASA and 150,000, 100 other fucking agencies. NASA doesn't get just that. That
Okay.
those billions of dollars of space institute.
Well, no,
gets,
whatever NASA
divvies
gets is what
that
they
out.
get. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
okay.
Whatever
Yeah,
NASA
it
is
doesn't even
allotted, they
it
get.
really doesn't even matter, and we're going away from the what I want
I
to
think
know.
it's 20 billion.
Chris, so you say you don't have to go do anything to make the claims you're making about the COVID-19. Is that what you're saying? You read off the bill. You read off the bill, and look. Hang on, let me
You said there was
let me
no
do this.
pork. I
Let me do
proved
this.
you wrong.
No, you didn't. Let me do this.
Do we need to have another bet or something?
Hang on, let me do this. COVID-19.
Or what's the deal?
Are you really denying that there's people actually sick?
No, I have not said that one time. You're misconstruing
Yes, you
what
did.
I said.
You said.
So what's your argument?
You said the hospitals are empty. You said that all these.
That means that there's not as many people sick as they're saying. Come on, use some common sense.
Show me some evidence for less people being sick than they say. President Trump signs 2 billion.
I don't think you're looking at. I don't think you're actually looking at the numbers. Over here in Hawaii, there's probably about there's like 20 people per day that are being
oh my God,
tested positive.
Oh my God, 20 people per day. Now, what's the population of Hawaii? What's the population?
It's 37 people.
Wait. How long has this been going on? Or what's the timeline on that, people? So far.
Listen, all I'm saying
is
Chris,
hang on. I asked people a question. Of those 20 people a day, how long and what time period has this been going on?
It's what, a few weeks now?
Okay, so we're gonna say 3 weeks.
A month and a half.
Okay, a
3 weeks,
a month
yeah,
and a half?
something like that.
Okay, 6 weeks, month and a half. So that's what?
Yeah.
That's what, 45 days. So 45 times 20. What is that, Chris? It's pretty easy. Come on. 90. Say it. 90.
I wasn't listening.
Okay, yeah, I know you
Chris
weren't.
can't do math. Anyway.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, in a month and 6 weeks, fucking 900 people. That's a lot of people, and it's
oh my God, 900 people.
And it's not just doing 20, 20, 20. It's 20, 40, 80, 160. You know how that works? See how that works, Chris? It's not
okay. Let me ask you
how about this? Just because in your small podunk town,
relax,
no,
Sean.
I'm not gonna relax because people like you who downplay this shit are the reason why
it's provide the truth and
fact. What truth have you fucking spread? What truth? Show me.
I'm the only one who's provided cited sources proving my claims.
You are so full of but
you're doubting.
Shit. Matter of fact,
you're doubting that people are actually sick.
I got a bot in here. I got multiple people that are putting different sources for the numbers. You're telling there's so many more sources for what's going on in here than you have looked on for any topic, Chris. What are you talking about? You put in one LA Times fucking article. One. What sources have you put in?
I put it in a second.
Oh,
do I need to put in more? Is one or two not?
Yeah, please. Keep going. I want as many as you can.
Good enough for you?
So far, nothing you said has been shit. Shit for all for what your claim is.
Well, you're wrong. Really? I proved you wrong already.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me run the quick number by you. Okay. If you divide the 2 trillion by the amount of people expected to get benefit.
Nope. You're doing it wrong.
Each person would get around $13,000.
You're doing it wrong. Fucking A.
Instead of 13,000,
you're doing it wrong.
It's not just going to the people, Chris. It's going to businesses as well.
Yeah, you're doing
That's
it
my
wrong.
point. Big business and special interests like ours.
Yeah, because those big businesses. People are not working.
First of all, they're not just giving it to big businesses. The majority of the businesses they're giving it to are the small businesses, Chris. You need to read your sources a little bit fucking better.
Yeah,
because people are not working. So when people don't work, then those businesses don't make money, and then those businesses can't pay their bills.
Yeah, I'm on that small business list. We're just waiting on paperwork for. Thank you.
I never said some small businesses aren't getting help. I'm saying a lot of it is going to big business and special interests.
No, it's small businesses like me all over the country are getting this shit. It's not just
how much money are you going to get? Let me ask you then. Do you know?
They're talking about 50% of their average income for the shop for the last 2 months.
Okay, so you're going to get 2 months worth of income. Let's say this virus keeps spreading and supposedly getting worse, and it's 3 months down the road. You got 2 months worth of stimulus, and that's all that they can give you. What happens in 3, 4, 5 months when this is still happening?
Okay, so wait. How about this? Hang on, Crash. Hang on.
You talk about this, scary.
Chris, I have a question for you.
Fuck the virus.
What about this? What if they didn't give you any fucking thing, and more people just died because all the companies had to stay open, and more people died? Wouldn't that be a big fucking?
That's called life. Like that, we do that with everything. We've never not
Chris,
done that before.
Are you keeping yourself isolated from people?
I mean, to a certain degree, but I've been going out.
Then fucking stop. Why don't you go fucking find someone who claims to have COVID-19?
Yeah,
why don't you go
you're part of the problem.
Yeah, why don't you go help someone who has COVID-19 and act as if it's just a fucking cold? I bet you won't do that.
A lot of people are saying they
I don't give a fuck what a lot of people say because that's just your opinion, Chris. You sound fucking stupid with your COVID-19
people
bullshit.
Online.
You're definitely part of the problem.
Hold on. I think we found a real issue to what's happen with no money because he doesn't know how to prepare like the rest of us did. Because I'm sitting on 500 acres of private property with everything I need in my backyard. I can take care of my family, the kids, and everybody else here indefinitely without a fucking penny if I had to. So what's the fucking issue?
Oh, and I forgot one other thing. You're not a doctor, so for you to say that COVID-19 isn't as bad as they're saying, you don't have a source for shit to be making that claim. You don't.
Chris,
None of your sources, Barney, not one source has said anything about the COVID-19 not being as bad as it is. Just to understand that too, because that was the claim you said.
I haven't looked for those sources. And I will
well, that was the claim you came in here starting to say.
Here's one from Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew says coronavirus scares being overhyped. I'll blink you that.
Yeah, how old is that? How old is that?
I'll keep going.
When was that posted? Probably months ago.
1 month ago.
Yeah, that's when
I'll
it started.
find something
that's the best part, Chris, because I made that very clear. The media hyped it. The government and us all dropped the fucking ball. We all acted like it was nothing. I acted like it was nothing. And then a month ago, when shit started really rolling and it really started to affect the economy.
Rolling, Sean.
Yeah, when shit started affecting the
you know
economy,
why it's affecting the economy?
I'm
because
not done
they forced
talking.
it to.
And once it started actually fucking affecting the economy because people started getting sick and people stayed home and all that shit, then the government, and I said this from the beginning, it was a perfect time to see if the government would step up, and they are. And look at you over here acting like the COVID-19 ain't shit, and they're spending our money somewhere else. Well, when you get your first fucking check, suck a dick and strip it up, fucking Chris.
Yep. And then when someone around you people start getting sick around you, you're like, oh shit, maybe they were telling the truth.
Chris, don't go to the fucking hospital. Don't do nothing.
You
Don't
like
think
I
that shit
said,
ain't
you're
nothing.
not understanding
No,
the
I heard
point.
exactly what you said. Maybe you need to listen to what you say a little bit better, because what you're saying right now is everything besides it is a hoax. But you're running down that line. You're trying real hard. That's how obvious that shit is. You can go get mad.
I'm sorry.
That's exactly what the fuck you're showing.
Paying your bills. It's so you can get the necessities to get through this shit. Everywhere
exactly.
I'm at right now, Illinois, Missouri, all them, we got letters when this shit first started hitting off from our power companies, from our utilities.
Yep. All those companies are giving breaks.
Saying they're not going to shut us off, regardless of how long this lasts. If you have money, use it for the shit you need it for. Food, medical, whatever you need for your family. Fuel.
Yeah,
and that's what it's for. It's not
Chris,
to pay your fucking bills. It's
Chris, you need to stop listening to all the YouTubers that are telling you it's not that bad, it's a hoax, and start realizing that you need to start looking into the sources of the real information, like the phone companies, like the electric companies, like the fucking businesses that are trying to help the people and doing things so that all these stimulus packages that we're getting go to fucking things we need, not to pay them. If you would have read some real sources, you would fucking know that shit, and you wouldn't be sitting here acting as if the government is trying to give $2 trillion away for themselves.
Hey, Chris, I got a mortgage payment for my fucking shop that the bank told me not to worry about until this shit's over with. And I guarantee you that's more than the payment on your
So does that mean that they're going to avoid that payment for this month forever, or will you have to pay it back eventually?
At this point, I really don't care as long as my family.
Right, you don't care right now, but I guarantee they're not going to avoid that payment because they can't avoid the payments for every
that is what the fucking stimulus package is for, so that the necessities to live
are
met. It has nothing to do. Okay, why would a company have to pay their employees if they're not running and the government's going to help? So you sitting there acting as if, how do you think it should be? Should everyone still go to work, Chris? Do you, Chris?
Yes,
What?
absolutely. Are you kidding me? Go
Okay,
back to work.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
John,
Okay,
there's
and let
then
everyone
guess
get
what?
fucking
Here's the best
sick.
part.
thousands
Here's
of
the best
people,
part, Chris.
thousands of people going out.
This is how I know you're full of shit, because you have no medical education and have no clue how a pandemic works or how to solve a pandemic. How do I know that? Because you're sitting here acting as if everyone has the sniffles and we're all making you act like it's the Ebola virus. That's your bad.
How the fuck am I supposed to go run my business when I can't get supplies? That's not my fault. That's the government shutting shit down. I can't get the basic shit I need to keep my doors open.
That's
Chris,
my point.
I have a better question. What would you expect
You're
to be
proving my
happening?
point.
What would you expect? No one's proven any of your points. Everyone's proven your point wrong. What would you
Home Depot's
expect?
open.
What would
Go to Home Depot.
construction
Go to
is
Home
still
Hey,
Depot.
going.
listen. No, I have an honest
Jesus
question.
Christ!
I
No,
have an honest question.
I have a
point.
question. No, I have a question that matters to all.
You've nothing but
I
ask
want
questions
to
the whole
know-
time, Sean.
Yeah. Well, guess what? It's my stream. Okay.
I know you keep saying
Okay.
that. It's
Yeah,
super
I know. I
annoying.
keep having to say that, and you guys keep acting as if fucking it's not my stream.
Well, I'm done answering questions. I have a question I'm
Okay,
going to
then
ask.
take off, because I have a question, and if you don't want to answer my
All right,
question,
bye.
then bye. Thank you. What the
What a
fuck
piece of shit, man. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. Anyone who comes on here, anyone talking as if this is all just hype, what the fuck do you expect to happen? What needs to happen? Does your family need to die for you to believe this shit's going on? I hope not. I really fucking hope not. Wake the fuck up, stupid.
Yeah.
Damn, what the
Some of
fuck?
us are in a better position to take care of what's going on than others. We don't have a lot of free cash right now, but I have everything I need to take care of my family on this property.
I'm going to say this
Yep.
one last time. If you think this is a hoax, if you think this is complete hype, when you get that check, rip it the fuck up.
Just get it back. Yep. Just, hey, mail it to me. Shit, I can use it. I got fucking 5 kids here.
It's fucking ridiculous how people are acting. Like, I'm sorry. It's real easy, and Jose, it's nice and cute you wanted to defend Chris, because Chris, you're right, didn't come out and go, COVID-19's a hoax. No, he didn't. But he did everything in his power to word it that way, because that's exactly what the fuck he's saying. And he even said it. His sources, YouTubers. The fuck. He said LA Times.
Yeah, wasn't
The stimulus one that he was reading from is from the Inquirer. The link everyone's seeing on YouTube right now. This one with Chris. This one that says stimulus plan include long stout booms for special interests is from the Inquirer.
That whole point with the stimulus package is not so you all go out and buy new cars and pay your fucking bills. It's to get the essentials you need to get through this emergency situation. That's what it's for. Groceries, food, diapers if you have small children. That's what it's for. Not for everything else.
That was fucking man. I wasn't even planning on
It
getting
is.
upset
It
today.
is literally the case of the economy is shutting down, and it's going to be shut down for a while. If you want people to be able to survive through it and then continue working after it's done, you have to pay for. Yeah. You have to sponsor, and like literally what Chris was complaining about, the arts, right? Theaters cannot work. None of the people who work in theaters as cleaning people, as writers, actors, none of them can work because nobody is allowed to go into theaters.
Yep.
Yes, there will be a relief portion for the arts in there because those people have nothing to live off as long as all the theaters are closed, as long as all the galleries are closed, as long as all the museums are closed, right?
Exactly.
And they're not like lavishly spending on them.
Yeah, that's
the entire U.S. arts are getting what did he say? 150 million, right?
Yeah.
1/13,000th of the bill.
Exactly, and that's why I asked Chris.
How
What does
literally? How many people?
Go ahead, Barney.
How many people work on Broadway alone? How many people working in Hollywood? Right? All of those people are now at home.
Mm-hmm. That's why I asked him. That's why I asked him what encompasses those art institutes or art programs, because it's never just. It's not like they're giving 150 million so people can draw on a picture. No, that they're like you said, Barney. All those entities you listed in that, encompasses the arts. And he read it like they were just giving someone who wants to go paint all that money. Some politician, like they're joking around. He doesn't get it.
I can't be the only person on this panel that got the letters from their power company and utilities and shit, right?
I got them. Like I said, I said it earlier. My phone, I got Cricket Wireless. They're waiving everything right now.
Exactly. That's to get everybody through this shit.
Yeah, and and this is I was talking about this before, and trust me, this is not fake news. This is actually what's happening. If you guys have noticed, when you're on your phone signal, your cell phone data seems to be a little slower lately.
Yep. Oh yes,
that is because they're not charging people the rates. They're bringing all their systems down so that they can handle the amount of people on it, and so that they don't fucking have to spend extravagant amount of money on every tower. So they're shutting small towers down, and they know there's going to be a high volume of people, and they have to do something. They have to make sure everyone's phones work. Everything goes through emergency systems. All that shit encompasses all of that stuff. It's every time we talk about these bills or we talk about situations happening, people that are doing this blah 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 shit realize there's more involved encompassing in a agency or a group when we're talking about this. So when you say arts, it does sound like you're talking about a painter house and they're making pictures and they want all that. No, it's like Barney said. All that encompasses the arts that goes to, and when you look at it that way, that ain't shit.
Yeah, it should be more.
What's going to happen? And what that ensures is that when hopefully soon this shit ends, they can at least have something to stand on and get that start going back again. It's not about paying them so they feel like this isn't going on. It's not about them getting it has nothing to do with their profit margins. It has everything to do with the people that work there surviving through this. It has everything to do with when this does come, when we're done with this pandemic, that those businesses still exist. They don't have to sell everything or sell their companies or go for these extravagant loans to keep their company afloat. That's what's going on. When Chris comes on here and starts babbling bullshit from the Inquirer, and that's his fucking source, that's what the problem is. That's why we're in a pandemic, I think, right now. And again, I'm fucking guilty of it. I swear to God, you guys can go back in my streams, and I'm one person that went, I don't think it's that fucking bad, blah, 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 blah. And until I really started looking into it and realizing what was going on. And still, I don't think we need to be panicking. I think we need to just listen to what the doctors say. They're not telling us, give us $1,000 so we can get we can find a cure to this quote unquote disease. No, that's not what's happening. They're not taking advantage of anything. Chris ran in here like they were using this for something. Everything they're doing is to benefit us right now. That stimulus pack, that $2 trillion they're arguing about, has nothing to do with those politicians' interests.
Yeah, they made a special bill saying that there's something in the clause saying that none of Trump's establishments can be benefited from this. There's like a separate little clause they put in.
And if that was the case, why wouldn't Trump have made this a big deal from the beginning? He's the dumbass too. Everyone acted like this was a hype thing. Everyone thought this was hype at the beginning. Here's the realization. It's not hype. They're not hyping it. Matter of fact, if anything, they tried to warn us, and here is where the problem lies. They tried to warn everyone. But because they had fucked up so many times in the past with their fake bullshit and their fucking changing or biasing a story, when the real shit hit the fan, we all thought they were crying fucking wolf. Guess the fuck what? They're not. Yeah, show me some evidence that they're not. Otherwise, you just sound like a dumbass. Period. At best, you should be reading off and understanding what's going on the same as all of us are, because we're all reading the same shit from the same sources. Any other source is not qualified. I guarantee you there's no one qualified, because there are people that are like in Debate Fighter the More server that are doctors. I've heard Brian, Verbal Diary. I've heard all these people talking about it, and none of them talk to anybody about do this or do that. This sounds weird. This seems weird. And those are people that understand that we don't know what's going on, so they're explaining it to us. They don't hype it. They're not giving us bullshit. Everything that they're saying correlates with the numbers and what the fuck we're seeing. And not once is anyone gonna go, I know what's going on. A YouTuber told me. What the fuck? I've made that clear from the very start. Yeah. Don't listen to a fucking thing I'm saying about this shit. That's on you guys to go fucking read up on that shit. I am not a source for information on a COVID-19 situation. I can only talk on what I know. I think I know, and what other people think they know, and hear. But I know when I hear bullshit, I'm gonna smash it down. I don't care what topic it is.
Hey, yes, Sean. Everybody, stop listening to Sean and start listening to Chris.
Yes.
Hey, Sean, go take a puff and calm down, bro, before you have a heart attack.
For real.
Yeah. If this thing's not real, why did we here in the UK today have another 260 dead?
But were they really dead? Did you know all the 260 people?
Yeah.
That's
or are they just numbers that show up in the media?
That's
yeah. If this is not real, why am I off of work? I've been off work all week. They sent all of us home. Military.
Hey, farmers, did you go give all of them new COVID cases hugs and kisses and tell them to feel better?
No, I fucking well didn't. Stuff that. I'm staying in.
And here's the thing, like I probably don't talk about the stimulus packages that much because here's the thing, I don't know if I'm getting one or not. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I am. But I'm in construction. We're not shut down. It's essential. We need to, and the reason it's essential because, and I was asked this question the other day. Like for instance, I'm doing a small grading job on a hospital that's not supposed to be even open for another year. So it has nothing to do with this going on. So realistically, under the guides, I don't need to be at work. It's not essential that I'm there, but you have to understand that if you're at home and your plumbing fails, or your power box explodes, whatever, and a guy has to come out, that means they're essential. They encompass the construction group, and that's why I'm still working. So for me, I'm not in a situation where I'm not going to be working. It kind of actually sucks dick because I haven't worked I worked 2 days in the past month because of rain in San Diego. Fuck.
Well, see, here's a fun thing with mine. That's what Chris rage quit. But the thing with mine is my skill set's considered essential, but my business wasn't because I was aftermarket. If I still worked at the dealership, I would still be working.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Because they don't need to go to you. They can go somewhere else. And kind of like the same thing. Like there's in hospitals, doctors and stuff. There's surgeons, and then there's specialty surgeons. I guess you could say it would work the same way. I was gonna say something I completely fucking forgot. Happens a lot lately. Yeah, I think that was it. I think I was trying to calm myself down, so I was thinking of something else. Yeah, this is one of those things. Just everyone that's calling BS on this, put it this way. Oh, this will make me happy to even think of saying it. Ready? There's more. I'm gonna try to get this out. There's more evidence for flat Earth than there is that COVID-19 is a hoax.
Holy shit!
That's deep. That's deep.
That's funny.
And that's real. That's like for real. Damn.
No, it's like I could go get a job at a dealership if I felt the need to be around people or working for some logistics company that needed to keep trucks running. But I don't feel like being around people right now.
No.
Yeah, I tried. Put it this way. Like I said, you guys have seen me a few times when I turn my camera on. I'm at work. I'm in a closed cab machine. I like that. There's no one in there. People stay away from me. I don't know how people do office. I could never work in an office. I literally would never last in an office job.
That's the same reason why I left the dealership is because I got tired of my tools coming up missing.
bullshit. Because before I was bidding on jobs and doing shit, I was a dirt broker. People who know what dirt is, it's gonna sound really fucking just what the fuck. I sold, I sold dirt, and I found holes to fill in with dirt. I made
Yep, I was talking about bad weed.
And I made a shit ton of money doing it. The problem I had was I hate doing paperwork. So I'm not going to shit anyone. I shit you not. I was it 3 years ago when I stopped doing that. I was making around 100 a year, and it wasn't worth it to me. I can't stand being on my cell phone. I can't stand fucking doing paperwork. And for 2.5 years, I was stuck doing that every day, and I hated it. And it gave me ulcers because I would get calls from client, like basically truck drivers that needed a place to dump dirt or needed dirt. I would get calls 24 hours a day, and 80% of them were all in a panic and needed help now. So I was stuck. I mean, there were so many times I was driving 18 hours a day, just driving my truck up and down north and south to the border to northern San Diego all day long, just looking for shit. And I couldn't do that shit anymore.
It's like I liked my job at the dealership because I didn't have to worry about where repairs were coming from. I hated my tools coming up missing because I hated paying Snap-on, and apparently they frowned on me hooking an ignition coil up to my toolbox.
I like that.
It doesn't. Don't you guys have to use Snap-on over there?
No,
dealerships?
When I worked at the dealership, you're still responsible for your own tools. I could buy them from Snap-on, Matco, wherever the hell I want. The reason we bought Snap-on and Mac was because they came to us, and I didn't have to take time away from work to go get shit.
Yeah, but that shit is so expensive. Holy shit. Fucking when me and my dad had a yard, the Mac guy came up when they first started doing that. Because a lot of people don't know that either. Those Mac trucks, the Mac tools, those drivers are basically independents that basically, what do you call it, lease the trucks and the tools and sell them out.
They lease the truck and the tools, and they're responsible for everything on that truck. Technically, they own it.
Yeah.
And if they don't sell it, they're stuck with it. So their whole job is to go around and supply it.
Yeah. They're the tool version of the Avon lady. I shit you not.
Yeah.
Pretty much the running joke at every dealership is Snap-on. Once you get credit with them, it's $5 a week for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah.
Oh, you need this here tool? I got this on sale. I'll just add it to your account.
Yeah.
I'll just add this. Next thing you know, you're paying $300 a week just so you can.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Snap-on as a whole, I think is awesome, but I think they're hyped.
Oh,
like you said, they come to you.
Yeah, it's a convenience thing.
Yeah.
If I break something, I don't have to go anywhere. I can call my Snap-on guy.
Yeah.
And then they have it in on, like, if you work at a big dealership, and I still work on some of it, diagnostic tools. They own the rights to have the Snap-on Modus diagnostic tools and all that fun shit so you can get into these computers. You have to get that piece of equipment from them. What a lot of people don't realize is even your best tech at a Mercedes dealer, they're paying for all the tools to work on that car. The mechanic is to pay for those tools out of his back pocket. That dealership's not paying them for that equipment. So, yeah. You think you're paying a lot of money. Well, we're paying a lot of money just to get a paycheck at the end of the week. When I worked at Chevrolet, my Snap-on bill when I left was $400 a week.
Damn.
Yeah, and that came straight out of my check. That went straight to the Snap-on guy every Friday when he came around to collect his. Way back in the day, I think I was 20. I worked at like a Jiffy. It wasn't a Jiffy Lube. It was a mom and pop type Jiffy Lube type place. It was badass. I didn't like it because I knew that wasn't my career. I was just there to make money. But what the manager did, and I thought this was actually pretty cool. What they did is they basically buy all the tools you could possibly ever fucking need there in a big ass toolbox, and they say that's yours. What they then do is they basically make you rent those tools. So I think it was $2 to $3 per check was instantly taken out, and it went to this like account. And when that account reached a certain amount and you didn't lose any tools or you didn't break any, just like, destroy tools like a fucking idiot,
you would end up getting that at the end of the month. So it was basically like a lease, but you got all your money back. And I thought it was awesome, except for the fact that like if you did need a specialty tool, it was on you. And I didn't like that.
That's what you run into after you. Like I've worked at some dealerships where if you have an apprentice come in, the shop will buy them a basic standard and metric 3/8 drive set so they can do basic shit. But when you get into the specialty shit that you actually make money on, like I was a transmission tech for years. All those specialty tools, those were all on me to buy. And if you don't have the tools, you can't do the job.
And that was the worst part to me, because the way it worked there were 4 bays. And Crash, you can detest, or it probably worked the same way where yours. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, the journeyman mechanic is in bay 4, and he gets all the jobs that are just impossible. Or better yet, he gets all the hard jobs. But more importantly, his bay is never empty. Period. And then it trickles down, and basically the newbies in bay 1. I was in bay 1, so what ended up happening was, if I couldn't do the job or I didn't have a tool, it'd go to bay 2. If bay 2 was full, go to 3. Blah 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 blah. Or first dibs go to the master mechanic. But basically, it was like, well, if I don't have fucking $200 to get the fucking the lock nut I need to get that fucking keeper pin off, like what the fuck? All these different things. If I can't do one thing, I gotta pass it on to work on. What the fuck is that? And I didn't like that. Yep. I hated that with a passion.
Your highest paid guys at the dealership are usually the old guys doing oil changes, selling brake jobs. Because what a lot of people don't understand is we don't get paid by the hour either. We get paid by book time, which fucking sucks unless you know what you're doing.
Yep. Because what happens is I ran into that problem. It was more when me and my pops were running the company, and I had to do when I was the mechanic on all our trucks. What ended up happening is we had to go, is it worth taking our vehicle, the trucks, to Rush, which is a truck company, or maintenance or truck repo place. I said repair place. Or do we fix it in house? Yep. And what happens is, if I go, we'll do an easy one, an alternator. Okay, an alternator in the books is an hour job. Well, if I get in there and a mouse ate the wires, or a bolt stripped, or the fan on the alternator isn't there. You guys know the pulley. And I had to change that shit out. All that would then end up maybe taking 3 to 4 hours, sometimes even a half day. I'm only getting paid for the book on that. If the alternate, as if all I gotta do is change the alternator, nothing else, and that sucks ass.
That's what sucks, and that's why I got good at doing transmissions, because the labor rates were decent, and if you know what you're doing, you can beat book all the time.
Exactly, and that's the main reason you'll see not dealerships, like small garages with 10 cars in their garage, because they got to keep work constantly going.
Yep, and even if you're waiting on parts, like the last dealership I worked at, I had 3 bays that were mine. And that was so I could keep production up. Mm-hmm. But I was also at the shop 40 hours a week, and I was getting paid for 120.
Yeah, well, the bad part about that is, though, or good and bad of it. So, I hate to deal with this. I had an F-150, and at the time, my cat went out. And apparently, when this happened, Ford had discontinued making the cats for the F-150 FX. So the dealership goes, we can find one. It's in Denver. But you have to sign a clause. What is that clause? That clause basically says that catalytic converter was not sold in California. Therefore, that it's not a California legal one. And will it pass smog? We don't know. And they made me. They didn't make me. I chose to sign that. The problem was no matter what, they couldn't find anything for 6 months. And they were like, if you drive your truck, we're not giving you a warranty. I was like, oh, okay, well, obviously I can't drive the truck. Then they went, then I went, well, rent me. I need a rental. And that got even worse, because he went, well, you kind of signed something saying that the 6 months was agreed upon, so it's not our problem. Luckily, they ended up helping me out. But there are actually laws set in place that if someone says your car will be done in 4 to 5 hours, you come back and the car's not done, there's a law that states that they have to give you a replacement. They can't screw you because the job's not done. The problem is when I didn't know, and I ended up finding out through lawyers, not trying to sue, but him explaining to me and me realizing, oh, this is why. If they tell you the job's going to take 6 months, they just gave themselves a 6-month, I don't have to reimburse you clause. That means they don't have to touch your shit for 6 months.
Yep. Even if it's only going to take us 5 minutes to actually fix it.
Yep. And that's just, that was where those lemon things started happening. Go ahead.
The other thing a lot of people don't know about is if you take your car to a shop in the U.S. and they give you a bid on it before they do the work, they can't go over that bid by more than 20%.
Yep.
At all. If they tell you it's a cam sensor and it's going to cost this much to get your car running and they guarantee it, and it turns out to be something else, they have to call you before they do anything else to that car. And if you don't agree to it, they have to give you your car back. I've seen too many people lose their cars to shops because they don't want to deal with the phone calls from them on stupid shit.
Yep. Yeah. Well, luckily, like I said, when our trucks started going down, our pickup trucks, and we had already formed a relationship with the Ford dealership that we went to, at that point, luckily, we got that explanation. He told us about the when you map check, when you do a code read, how it will catch 4, but it doesn't tell you what sensors are inside those 4. He explained all that to us, so he gave us a good rundown on how to take our vehicles there and not get screwed. He was like, step 1, before you sign anything, you tell them you need a vehicle, and are they going to give it to you? Because 99 times out of 10, out of 100, they're going to give you a vehicle. Why? Because they need your work. That's the other thing people don't know. Dealerships charge a lot of money, and people go, oh, because they have so many cars, and they don't give a fuck. Trust me, they give a fuck. And trust me, they need you in there.
Well, see, here's the thing with what a lot of people don't understand about warranty work. If you go buy a new car and you take it back to the dealership under warranty work, the dealership doesn't pay that mechanic to do it, and the dealership doesn't get paid. Yeah. The warranty company has to pay, and the warranty company will only pay 50% of whatever the book value is or whatever the job is on it. So if I got an engine replacement in a Corvette, because I worked at Chevrolet and that's what I specialized in, normally if it was a regular customer out of warranty and they blew that fucker up, it was a 15-hour job. If that same car came back in under warranty, I'm only getting paid 7.5 hours to work on that piece of shit. So how motivated is your tech to actually work on the damn car? We need the work to keep coming in so we can keep getting paychecks.
Yeah. And that's a definite industry that's getting screwed. Yeah, because the only way to not get screwed is like what you're doing, where you're self-employed. But anyone who's ever been self-employed knows that it's not easy, and it's not always fun.
Oh no! Before we got into the specialty cars and doing that shit, when I just ran a regular shop, I would work 12 to 13 hours a day, and then I would go home and do paperwork until I literally fell asleep at my desk. Because if I didn't do that paperwork, I got fucked.
And that was what was happening to me. I ended up getting stressed so bad I got ulcers and shit.
Oh, it was all the stupid emission shit we had to deal with. Because even though our state doesn't test, it's still federally regulated. So if I replace the converter or an air pump, I have to get the tag numbers for what it came off of and the VIN number and what part replaced it, and all that shit had to be turned in a set time.
Yeah. Hang on, give me 1 second. I gotta walk away from the computer for a minute. Keep talking, guys. I know I just threw that on you.
I blame Farmer's Boy and GPS because GPS never says anything.
That's it. Blame the foreigner.
Exactly.
Now you be careful. I'll invoke Channel Q.
Oh Jesus Christ! I watched that after show yesterday. It was interesting.
Yeah. I had to sort of turn the volume down on my headphones somewhat.
I think the thing I've ran into is people like Chris are just scared because they go to the grocery store and there's nothing on the shelves and they don't know how to provide for their families. Whereas people like me do. I'll get through this shit one way or another.
Yeah, well, I went shopping the other day and I got everything I wanted.
Yeah, you can. But here, what was it, yesterday? They shut down all the retail stores. You either have to order it online or have it delivered.
Yep. Yeah, we had that on Monday. They basically said there was a list of stores that could remain open, but basically, if you wanted to go to a department store, if you want to go buy clothes, anything like that, forget it. It's shut. And a very big store over here called John Lewis. The last time they shut all their stores was the Second World War.
Yeah,
And then
we're running.
And
we're
then
running. We're running into that now. I could have stayed at home and kept the shop running, doing necessity shit, but it's like, why when I can go somewhere where I can hunt and do everything else I need if shit gets worse?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do that over there. We can't do that over here. We don't. That's not an option. So, but you then get problems like today in certain parts of the UK where the bin men have gone around to empty the bins, and what are the bins full of? Unwanted food. So wankers have gone out, stocked up on food, not needed it, and they've had to throw it away because it's gone off.
Right? Like we went to the store yesterday to get tobacco, some engine oil for some of the stuff we're running up here. And, basic necessity shit for us.
Yep.
So I was trying to tell Chris that this stimulus package isn't so you can go pay your fucking bills with. It's just to get essentials with.
Correct.
If you're just getting essentials, you don't need as much money as you would normally make.
Yeah.
All you got to do is get what's your normal grocery bill, which is $1,200 a month, is more than what I would spend on groceries.
Bloody right. I mean, I went the other day and I thought, right, I'll see what there is, and there was bread. So I generally, if I go and buy bread, I don't buy one loaf, I buy two. That's what I do, and I stick it in the freezer. Then I ain't got to worry about it for a couple of weeks. I thought, right, I'll get me 2 loaves of bread. Oh, they got eggs. I'll get some eggs. Oh, they got milk. Right, I'll get some more milk. I mean, everything was there that I needed.
It's like we went to pick up some groceries the other night. I got milk just because I haven't gone down to milk the cow yet, and we picked up some pasta and shit. Nobody was buying because like the meat and everything that was flying off the shelves, I have.
Yeah.
Right. So it's we're not in the greatest position where we're at, but we're not completely screwed either.
No.
That's why I'm working on modifying lawnmowers right now, because it occupies my time.
Yeah, when you got too much time on your hands, what can I do with this?
Right? I've already gone around, dude. I cannot believe the amount of. I went out on the mountain bike the other day and just rode all the country roads around here, past all these other farms.
Yeah.
I cannot believe the amount of Volkswagen Beetles that are sitting in people's backyards around here.
Really?
I counted 2067 to late 70s Volkswagen Beetles just sitting in farmers' passengers in a 10-mile ride.
Bloody hell.
Right? I told Nicole I'm going to drag one of them back up here.
You can do so much with it.
That's what I told her. I said, I'll make a fucking dune buggy out of it just so we got a yard truck thing, whatever, to fuck off with and have fun with. It's like a pissed off 4-wheeler.
Yeah, I mean they're so simple, and so you can do so much with them because you've just got that simple air-cooled engine in the back. You've got so much less to have to worry about.
They're simple, and the compression ratio is low enough they'll pretty much run on any goddamn thing that burns.
Yeah.
It may not run well, but it will pretty much run on anything that'll burn.
Yeah. Yes, they're not exactly highly tuned, are they?
No, I was looking up specs last night, and I think they're like 53 brake horsepower, something retardedly.
Yeah. Well, it's a simple, basic engine design that's been around forever.
It's a simple engine. It's got 7.5 to 1 compression on most of them on a 1200. So it'll run on anything at that compression ratio. Like I said, it won't run well, but it'll get you where you need to go.
7.5 to 1's nothing, is it?
No, compared to most modern cars are 10 to 1 or higher.
Yeah.
And that requires highly refined fuels and all the fun shit that goes with that. That may become an issue to get.
That's it. That's when you got only with the Beetle octane rating. Who cares?
Yeah. It'll. Does it burn? Let me see if it burns. Pour a little drip on the ground. Yep, it burns. Throw it in the fucking tank. Mix it with some oil. It'll be good to go. It may smoke a little bit, but it'll run.
Yep.
No, Chris, I just I don't understand people like him that think this is a nothing situation. If it was a nothing situation, everything wouldn't be shut the fuck down, because greedy business people are going to want to stay the fucking in business to make fucking money.
Well, I just saw the figures for Italy. In the same 24-hour period that we went up 260, 280 odd here in the UK, Italy went up by 889 in a day.
Right. And are they, have they started to peak and plateau off? I was watching some information where China's finally their daily cases has started to go down.
I think China has, but I don't think Europe has yet. I don't think we've plateaued. I mean, Italy, they're saying total number of cases is 92,500, 10,023 deaths. I mean, that's.
I have it on the screen real quick. I just wanted to say, hey, Chris, I said, Chris, you're a fucking joke, because he used the Inquirer as a source. He goes, wrong, LA Times. Chris, I have it on the screen right now. https or whatever site www.inquirer.com. Stimulus plan includes long stout booms for special interests. That's exactly what you even searched in Google, Chris. That's how I know you can't tell the fucking truth, and you're not spouting any truth.
Nope, he just rage quits and runs away from any conflicting information, just like he does on Flat Earth topic.
He says because it's from the Inquirer, it doesn't make it wrong. Mind you, that the Inquirer is the same source that will put out an article about a woman who gave birth to an alien baby that a cow fathered. Shut up, Chris. Like, real shit. Doesn't mean it's not real. Doesn't mean it's wrong. Okay, you show me where the alien cow baby is.
Wasn't Karen B on there with her affair with Bigfoot or some shit?
Probably. But let's keep that. Bigfoot could be real.
Could be.
Has it been found? No, not yet. No. But it could.
More evidence for Bigfoot than Flat Earth. At least we have some footprints, some strange hair, some weird sounds in the woods. Still more evidence than there is for Flat Earth.
That's so... Okay, so one source was the Inquirer. His next source after that was 94.9, The Bull. Dr. Drew says the coronavirus scare is being overhyped. Chris, really, man? Those are your... Dude, real shit. Real shit.
Dr. Drew article was a month before this shit really hit the fan, when we all thought it was overhyped.
He says most people have gotten it are fine. Who do you know? What source?
Except for the ones that died.
Yeah, like, Chris, you're so full of shit. You're making yourself look stupid, man. I would stop if I were you.
10,000 people have died from it in Italy. Not a very large country.
No, and they're not making the most important product to me on the planet right now because Italy's on lockdown.
Yeah, 92,472 cases, 10,023 deaths. Poor boy.
Ducati's supposed to be releasing a new version of the 848 this month, and that's not happening. And
no.
Even if it did, I couldn't get my hands on it.
No, that won't happen.
All right, listen. Here's the thing, though, right?
Oh dear.
Let's say this is all real. Let's say all these sources are right, and let's say it's a pandemic.
Wait. Your sources.
Here's the problem.
Your sources do not encompass what's right.
No.
No, I'm giving everyone here. I'm giving you full board saying that all your sources are right and that everything is true. Let's just take that as the case.
Okay.
Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't going away because some people stayed inside for a month. It will never go away if it's a virus, just like the flu never goes away. People are going to get it. It's going to run its course, and it's going to do what it's going to do, whether we like it or not.
What you're saying right now, it makes perfect sense to think that way. 100%. Here's the reason why. The main reason for keeping people inside right now isn't to get rid of it. It has nothing. Trust me, you can't. It's not going to happen. Just like you can't get rid of the flu, you can't get rid of all these other things.
Right, it's to prevent the spread. I get it.
Well, no, not even that. Well, yes, it is that. But most importantly, the isolation shit or the quarantine part of this is so that it gives them time to get a vaccine like they do for the viruses or for flus and shit.
Exactly. It's just to buy time
Yeah,
for them
Chris,
to figure out what's going wrong.
I see. Trust me, I get what you're saying when you're not saying it's a hoax. I get it. You're saying it's over. You're basically coming from the argument of, I think they're overhyping it. The thing is I think they hyped it and we all acted like that. Chris, I even acted like that. Like they were like, oh, they're just hyping this shit. The thing is that they weren't hyping it. They were trying to warn people. And because they are such lousy fucking people and they lie out their asses all the time, I give you that, Chris. The media, they're all full of shit. But this is exactly what I was saying earlier. This was a situation where the media cried wolf and we all went, there ain't no fucking wolf. And that's what you're at right now. I was there too, Chris. But the realization is you better hope you don't have to believe that this is real because one of your loved ones has it. Don't let that be how you'll know it's real.
No, I didn't say it wasn't real. Okay. Stop saying that.
You're right. You're right. I hope that's not what happens to make you understand how serious the situation is. That's a much better way of saying it. And like I said, Chris, I don't know anybody directly that has COVID-19, but I don't want to have to.
By the way, they're saying that there's this not cure, what do they call it?
Vaccine?
Antiviral or whatever. Yeah, vaccine for it. And that all the media is saying isn't working, but all the doctors are saying it is and that they should start prescribing it. So again, you have media saying one thing that's going against what a lot of these professionals are saying.
I think now it's the media trying to not step on their own toes, and I think it's the medical profession rushing to solve this situation before it gets any worse or too much worse. I think.
They're going to start shotgunning everything that could conceivably stop a virus at everything to see what works.
Yeah, but Chris, in the UK right now, they're doing programs where they are paying people $4,500 to come to them, get the coronavirus, the COVID-19 virus, so they can test our vaccines and antibiotics and shit like that. It's fucking like that. Like they are doing human testing. That's how serious this is.
Okay, listen. We've all played along for a month. It's wrecked the economy. Unemployment is at record levels at 3.3 million. That's the highest it's ever been. Okay. It's time to start going back to work. It's time to let people start going back out and doing stuff. Here's the problem.
Fucking idiot.
Okay, Chris, how about this?
Please. Can I finish my sentence? God damn, you guys are.
Because the thing
fucking annoying. This is the most annoying panel over Jose's, over Nathan's, over anybody.
It is because
I can't get out a sentence.
Because when someone starts spouting bullshit, luckily I have a panel full of people who will call someone on that bullshit, and I want you to do the same thing to me. Yeah, I want you to, but you better have a fucking source that actually backs what you're saying. Otherwise, it's just you being just trolling. That's the difference.
I'm providing sources. I'm providing sources.
Okay, these are your sources, Chris. The last source you sent was the Dr. Drew says coronavirus scare is being overhyped. One, he isn't a medical doctor. You know that, right?
Well, that was just the first thing that came up. So, excuse me.
Okay.
You need to talk to Google, Dr. Google about that.
That source was from 94.9, The Bull. The next source above that was the stimulus plan includes long, stout booms for special interests. That was from The Inquirer. And the LA Times one you sent was, you might get 1,200 from the $2 trillion stimulus bill. That's the same, like we all already said that. Like that, your first source actually debunked your first claim that it was $3,000 and $5,000 and they were going to fucking make us all pay it back and all. Like your sources are shit.
That's not what I said.
The only credible of the three, only one of those sources were credible, and that one source that was credible, we all agreed upon was happening.
I want to know why this is so worried about everybody going back to work. That solves nothing at this point. Going back to work solves nothing but getting more cases of this shit.
More people sick. More people.
I'm more worried about economic outcome than
than people.
the virus.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're more worried about your wallet.
Here's what. So let me finish the statement.
You're more worried about your
God,
wallet.
you can't get anything out on the
I
show. The show was
know.
dead. I came back to the YouTube page.
right.
I was listening. They were talking about like animals or something retarded.
Okay, cool.
So I thought I'd join and give the show a little
thanks.
boost.
Boost. Really,
and now I can't get a sentence
That's the
out.
funny part because everyone in my chat keeps telling me to kick you off of here. Trust me, you're not adding to anything.
What are you up to? 32? The 32 chat trolls you have are telling you to kick me out? Sure, okay.
Oh, wait. The 32? Chris, how many do you get when you go live stream? Chris, how many do you get when you live stream?
I don't live stream very much.
Then shut the fuck up.
He joins Travis's panel with 4 fucking people watching. And one of them
I've gotten more than 32.
No, you haven't. You don't get more than 32. I can go on your stream. I was around when you were streaming, Chris. And just like Travis, when you guys didn't get your numbers, you were like, I don't want to do this anymore.
It has nothing to do with it. I don't care about numbers.
Yeah, then why did you just bring them up?
No, it doesn't.
Why did you bring them up?
Oh, you're bringing up all the people on your panel. I'm just pointing out there's not that many people, and they're all most of them are trolls and chat trolls that stay in chat and talk shit.
You actually were talking about the amount of people watching my YouTube channel right now and saying that
because I wanted to see how many people were saying that they didn't want me here, so I just thought I'd check.
Yeah, that.
So can I just have? I have something.
That 3.5 seconds. You really were able to count how many times people said to kick you out of here.
How about this as an idea? Just listen, okay? So if people will go back to work, and the people that should stay inside are the people that are more vulnerable, like maybe the young and maybe the old, right? And everyone else can take their chance and get the economy back to where it should be.
The problem is, you lay in that bracket of the people that would go back to work. But when you go to work, you're around people, and when you get home from work, you're around those old and young people.
I'm not around any old people. What are you talking about?
You got young people? You have kids, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just said it. You said that the people.
So what? Young kids aren't as affected as
you said the people. Yeah, here's a problem though, Chris. Everyone else that's not in that demographic you said can get sick, carry that, and spread it to them. Just because you're not around old people, just because you're not around
maybe everyone needs to get it, deal with it, and pass it, and be done with it.
Yeah. Again, I hope your family has nothing to do with the COVID for you to change that stupid attitude.
Okay, well, listen. All I'm saying is when everyone starts rioting and taking to the streets because the economy's collapsed and we have no jobs and money, you're going to wish that they hadn't have done that.
Wow.
What do you need money for?
You guys have it.
Wait. What's the money for? What's the money going to be for?
Talking about, dude?
What's the money going to be for?
What's the money for?
What do you need this money for,
Chris? For bills and mortgage and living.
All the industries,
the grocery store isn't giving people free groceries.
All the industries that have basically said, we're not going to charge people right now because we're in a pandemic. When you talk about the grocery stores, when you talk about the essentials that we need, how are you going to buy those things if you're not working? The stimulus package you're going to give you. And if you go to work...
That's not even a month's worth of income.
Yeah, but it's better than zero,
dude, don't
Chris.
Be ridiculous.
It's better than zero. It's better than zero.
No, it's not.
Oh, wait.
It's basically zero.
Hang on. Wait, Chris, I have a question. 2 questions. 1, do you send your kids to school when they have the flu?
Not when they have the flu, no, because they feel bad and they can't study and learn because they feel bad, Sean.
Okay, so the only reason you don't send your kids to school with the flu is for that reason. It's not so they don't get other people sick.
Primary reason. That's a primary.
It has nothing to do with so you don't get other kids sick.
That's a secondary reason, sure.
Okay, first of all, it's the first reason. Second, it's the main reason why no one's going to work. Because if they spread it, more people get it. If you go to school, if you go to work, you're going to be spreading it. That's why no one's at work. You keep saying that all these people need to go back to work. That's how it got spread the first time. How has this become a pandemic? Because people like yourself and me acted like it was a hoax.
It's not a pandemic. It's not a pandemic.
What's a pandemic?
You are out of your mind.
What's a fucking pandemic?
You are absolutely out of your mind.
Whoa, stop. Chris.
This is a pandemic.
Wait. You said, and I quote, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. You just said, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. You said it's not a pandemic, right? You said that?
Right. Yeah.
You said the flu, right?
I said if this is a pandemic, then the flu is by sure a pandemic.
Check your numbers.
No shit.
Check your fucking numbers.
Okay, well, if more people have died from the flu this year than coronavirus, how is it not a pandemic?
Check your fucking numbers.
Check.
I have.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
Check your
You
numbers.
haven't looked at the numbers.
If you looked at your
You haven't
numbers,
looked at the
if you
numbers.
looked at your numbers, you wouldn't be saying what you're saying right now.
Let's-
yeah,
let's-
those same numbers you keep saying are bullshit.
You also don't need a respirator if you catch the flu, as in most of the cases of COVID-19.
No, that's not true, dude. Don't say that. Not most of the cases by any stretch of the imagination. That's ridiculous.
You know, here's the reality of it, Chris. You're not a doctor.
If it was a most,
you have no clue what you're fucking saying. You sound stupid when you say it's not a pandemic, and then you say it's not the flu. You don't know what you're talking about. That's the reality of it.
You don't either.
No, I know, Chris. I know that. Do you? Do you know you don't know shit?
Sure.
Do you know you have no clue what the fuck
then,
you're talking
none
about?
of us know. Then none of us do.
Here's the best
Then none
part,
of us
though.
do.
Here's the best part. The only people that are on this panel, the only person who's acting as if it's nothing is you. The only people that are going to make this worse are people like that.
Yep.
I'm trying to make it better for people.
No, you're not. You're not.
livelihood.
Chris, you are only giving a fuck about Chris. That is it. You only care about you.
That's
You don't
not
give a fuck
true.
about really. Because I said, do you send your kids to school? You said,
Yeah.
You said, no, I wouldn't send them to school because they can't learn and they don't feel good. I said, what about spreading the kids? That's secondary. You're an asshole.
Yeah, I don't care if some other kid gets the flu.
Yeah, that's why
tens of
you're an
millions
asshole.
of kids get flu.
That's why you're an
Millions
asshole.
of kids get flu, Sean.
That's
No, it's
why
called
you're a
common
fucking
sense. It's
asshole.
logic.
That's why
It's logic.
That's why kids get so sick. That's why all these viruses that you keep saying are nothings get spread so fast. Because kids or adults like yourself send your fucking sick kids to get my kids fucking sick. You're an asshole.
Oh, whatever, man. Obviously that, well, not obviously, but perhaps the economic decline hasn't affected you yet. But when it does, you're going to be singing the same tune that I am.
For a month, you fucking idiot.
So-
I am somewhere where I can take care of.
I'm not talking to
without
you.
Any expenditure of cash. You're only worried about your quality of life and nobody else's.
That's not true. I didn't say let me go back to work.
You'd be fucking worried about the goddamn economy. That's the least
No,
thing
no,
I
it's
have
not.
in mind right now. The only thing I'm worried
about the economy for everyone.
Of my fucking family.
Okay, well, what happens when a bunch of people fucking die? They die and they can't go back and there's no more jobs. What happens when family members start dying?
Well, that's
Chris?
not going to happen. That's not
So
going to
wait,
happen.
Chris.
How do you know?
You have no elderly or people that have pre-existing.
I'm saying not so many people that there's not going to be anyone left to go back to
let
work.
me ask you this: do you know anyone that is elderly or has preconditioned situations?
Yeah, sure.
Do you not give a fuck about them?
I do, but I'm like,
okay.
So
Chris,
that my grandma who lives in a nursing
so Chris, you go
doesn't
back
get
to work.
the virus. You're going to shut down the world's economy.
No, Chris. Say they send you back to work. You go back to work, and then you get your grandmother sick. You gonna feel bad? Because that's what they're worried about happening. They're worried about people like yourself going to work, going home, and going around someone who is elderly or someone who has.
Right. So I said we could still protect the elderly.
How?
You didn't hear me
How do
earlier,
you
I
open
guess.
everything back up and then protect the elderly? Because that means everyone's outside again. Everyone's around. That means they have to be around everyone else.
Do you want me to explain?
No, I don't really, because I know it's not going to be logical.
Okay. I'm the only logical person on this panel.
You have lost your mind.
Mind
That
if I
crashes
drop
just
in
got
and
it.
say a few words?
So it's not enough to protect the elderly. Even if you
So some elderly
take
people are going to die.
a lot of elderly people are going
You know
to die.
what? 1,000 people die every day. Did you know that?
Yeah, and you don't give a fuck.
Yes,
You get that.
children also die every day.
You don't either,
and-
Sean. That's my point. You could care less how many people die every day. You didn't even know that until I just told you. That's my point, man. Nobody cares if people die.
Chris, you're saying stuff that actually shows you don't give a fuck. Don't ever put me in a fucking bracket where you're sitting, because I do give a fuck.
Yes, people die every day of all ages and all sexes and all races and all ethnicities
Right.
and
And
nationalities.
we don't give two
Let
craps.
Barney finish.
Yes, we do.
Oh, you want to let him finish, but you'll never let me finish.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Barney.
Exactly.
If we didn't give a fuck, there would be no medicine because we don't give a fuck that people die, right? The whole industry of medicine is so that people get to
You
live.
don't care that 99.9% of those 150,000 people died. If someone close to you died, yeah, you would care. But that's not 99.9999% of those people.
I do care more if somebody close to me dies. I do care more if it is me who is dying, right? I agree with that. That does not mean that I do not care that other people are dying as well.
But you don't care enough to shut down the world's economy that helps obese people and people with heart disease and who die at the hundreds of thousands a year. Car crashes. Let's stop people from driving. 100,000 people die from car crashes a year. All these things.
If shutting down the economy could somehow prevent diabetes, if shutting it down for a couple of months so that diabetes would go away, I would be completely in favor of shutting down the economy for a couple of months.
Me too. I do it for
Okay.
I do it for a half a year. Why? Because I have family
All
members
right.
that are directly affected by diabetes. So yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh my god,
Chris, you sound like a little kid. Usually your claims frustrate me, but just your pure
you sound like a
ignorance on
kid
how things
interrupting.
work. It's irritating the fuck out of me right now.
I know how things work more than you know how
No,
things
you
work.
don't.
That's why I'm worried about the economy.
You saying you're better at this or you know more at this or this doesn't make it true. You're
by the way, I haven't listened to your
misinformed,
show.
and you are spreading
Hold on, Sean.
bullshit. There is no way in hell you'll ever in your life stand to the standards of what I do when I come to my evidence and where I come to my conclusions. You literally are spreading bullshit based on bullshit.
Chris is one of those people that only is worried about the economy because he rates himself on how much money he has.
Yeah, fuck you and the Joneses. Damn, man, I don't give a fuck if you don't.
It's
I
not
don't care
about
if you're
making
upset.
money,
You
it's
can't
about
drive around extra,
making a
or you can't go
living.
do stupid shit, dude. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If you only give a
My
fuck
next
about,
door
if you
neighbor-
only give a fuck about your job and not the lives of
No,
everyone,
no
fuck
one's saying
yourself.
that.
Go. Yes, you are.
That's not what I'm saying.
Then why do you want to go back to
No, I
work,
can't get
stupid?
I
Damn,
can't
man.
get a sentence out.
Yeah, you can't because you keep saying stupid shit.
And then you keep misconstruing what I say because you interrupt me.
Yep, you're right.
2 words into a
I guess
sentence.
so.
So then stop acting like you don't know what I'm talking about because you keep interrupting me.
Like you don't know what you're talking. I know exactly what
my
you're
next
saying.
door
You're talking
neighbor
stupid shit right now.
No, listen, my next door neighbor had to borrow money from his parents because he couldn't afford his mortgage. So all this stuff that Crashes is saying just isn't true.
God.
End of the world, even though
Wait,
So that was that was him being unprepared. I'm sorry.
Chris, go next door and ask your neighbor if you would rather had to borrow that money or died. Don't fucking compare. Stop comparing stupid little shit.
What's the death rate for the coronavirus? Anybody actually know?
Don't you know? You do have all these sources. You're so smart.
So, if 4 or
5%, I think.
If global medical services stay up to par, it is estimated to end up at about 0.5%, which is about 5 times as much as the flu. Currently, case rate is something like 3.5%. But if you look at the countries where the pandemic has spread, where the attempts to stop it were insufficient, such as Italy, it is over 10%.
Lots of old people there and such, right? People preconditions and they'll be more affected by it.
It affects everybody. It affects everybody depending on how
the younger you are, the more resilient you are. Yet for the youngest bracket, the lowest percentage for coronavirus is 0.2, which is still twice as much as the flu. Right? So when you say, "Oh, kids are resilient and nothing will happen to the kids," well, it's twice as deadly for them as the flu is on average.
Boom.
Right, and it's still, in terms of overall numbers and people and percentages, it's still a minuscule number.
Chris, do you actually know how exponential growth works?
Yeah.
So if we look at the numbers right now, yes, it might be smaller than the flu. Exponential growth that it is happening means it won't be that way for long.
No,
people like my father, who's suffering from lung cancer are going to be in the risk groups, and people like you going into work and then into the shops means that people like me who has to go into the shops and buy shit for my father get more risk of getting the virus from the shops and then infecting my father. So please stay in your fucking house.
No, he doesn't care. He's not the elderly, and for his age group and his children, he's willing to gamble on it because the odds are low.
I wasn't totally paying attention. You say your father has a shop that's open?
No,
my father has my father has lung cancer, and I'm doing the shopping for him.
Yeah. Oh, so you get to go out and do shopping? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. When I have,
so you prevent the spread of the disease.
Chris, this is not really a point where you get to act like a troll. See.
Well, no, you just told me to stay inside, but you're the one that gets to go shopping. Why is that the case? I don't get it.
That's kind of a stupid question.
It's still a reduction of how much that is spread.
Yeah, it's just
no, because he's going out.
Chris, here is the situation.
Knight has spread it to his father. He doesn't even know.
It's still a reduction in how it's spread.
Here is the situation. We are doing the shopping. We are staying in the house. We are doing everything we possibly can, but we need fucking food. So we go out, we buy food.
Oh, because
do it as carefully as we can, because
for
we
fuck's
need
sakes,
food.
Chris.
So
Barney,
this is not a point where you get to
my point.
This is not a
I'm literally
get to play this troll game.
You cannot be this stupid.
But he just told me to stay inside.
Yes.
And his next breath was he's going out and shopping.
Yes.
You go get the essentials for
which
your
is
family, and you stay out.
Yes, and you cannot possibly be that stupid not to understand what that means. Yes, you do get to go shopping. And yes, he does stay inside. The point is go out as little as possible. And when you're outside, take care to minimize contact. It is not close yourself in a box and die. Right? Everybody gets to go shopping. If you cannot go shopping, try to get things delivered. Right? But like what we're doing right now, what we're doing right now is we're planning ahead for 2 weeks, and we're doing a single shopping trip every 2 weeks for all the groceries. Right?
Exactly.
We plan out lunches, we plan out dinners, we plan out what the commodities that we need around the house, and we go for one person, one shopping trip, and brings everything. We don't go whereas usually I will go to the store twice a day because I will go once to buy something for lunch, and then because it's right around the corner, and if I forget something, I can just take a walk.
Spread though, Barney.
What?
This is not
it's
like
simple math.
This is not like it was before, Chris. Before I would load the kids up, me up, the old lady, and we would all go to the fucking store. No, now it's me and one of the other guys on
and the
my
girlfriend.
We go and we buy groceries for everybody that we have here, our entire family. In one fucking trip, we bought enough stuff to last us a month.
Barney just said he's.
I think. Hold on, Chris. You just glossed over exactly what Barney had said, and just went off of the last part of the sentence. You completely glossed over what he said.
Oh, he said it's okay to go out for food, which I get, and then he said he goes out twice a day for food. I'm saying you're doubling your chances of getting spreading the virus.
That's not what he said. I told you. I just told you that you glossed over what he said.
Okay, then what did he say?
I said that we go shopping once every 2 weeks because we plan out our meals for 2 weeks in advance.
Right, I heard that.
Yes, because
and then what else did you say?
In the before times, I would go to the store twice a day, right? Before the pandemic, right? And I would take my kids and we would go to a coffee shop and we would play around and we would get some ice cream and try to get some friends to go with us. So we would sit down and right? Now it's one person gets into a car, goes there, avoids everybody, gets the stuff for a week, and comes back home.
Exactly.
And that's it. That is staying inside. That is minimizing contact. You're not expected to stay inside until you die because you've run out of everything.
Or some of us just have the luxury of being able to go hunt for most of what we need. But there's still stuff that I don't have here.
Hey guys, I'm back.
John's back.
Yeah.
Woo.
I just came back down off the hill. I'm fucking freezing.
I guess that fucking telephone pole wasn't fast enough.
Is there? I've just been listening for about 30 seconds. Is there some fuckface saying that the coronavirus is a hoax?
Nope. No, he is specifically not saying that it's a hoax. He's just saying that we should all get back to work, and he is emulating Trump for some reason.
Yeah.
Yes, his personal expectations.
Well, maybe you guys need to read up on some history. Look at the Weimar Republic. Look at some of those time periods where people were in breadlines and dying from economic issues and collapse.
What economic issue right now is going to fucking kill me?
Hey,
I'll get you all a source.
There's a Fred in the chat wanted me to read this. He says the Skittles analogy. Excuse me, Skittle analogy. I give you 100 Skittles and you tell me 3 are poisoned. Do you eat them all? I don't really understand.
No, because you just told me 3 are poisoned. Why'd I eat your shitty Skittles?
So what's
well,
Chris,
you just said that the steps that we are taking right now in the pandemic are correct. That's exactly what the fuck you just said. You just stated that yourself just now. That statement you just fucking made. When I said 100 Skittles, 3 are poisons, would you eat them? And you said no. Why would I eat your fucking Skittles if 3 are poison? Why would you go to work if there's a possibility?
What does the poison do? Does it kill me or does it give me an upset stomach?
Well, COVID-19 kills people.
Okay, I'll take the chance. It does kill some people, but most people, was it like 95 or more percent, it doesn't kill?
And you know you damn well you and your family are safe, so you don't care. Is that what it is?
I don't know that.
Once again, unless we all get back to work and let it spread at the rate that it wants to, in which case you get Italy, which is currently at 10% mortality. 1 in 10.
Yeah, so that
lots of old people in Italy. Those numbers are skewed because of that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter the age.
Hang on. It's very important, Chris, that you say this. In that statement you just made, it's important you say this. In your opinion. Because you have no facts backing what you're saying.
I would actually love to see Chris provide some kind of evidence and some kind of statistics that he has looked into in terms of the old people in Italy.
He hasn't looked into
anything.
Have that, Chris? He's looked into the Inquirer. 94.9, the Bull.
Here's one from Forbes.
You know what he's saying? He doesn't care about any one of your grandmothers at all.
Anybody.
No, that's what he's saying.
Here's the thing. There are people
just in this panel. In this panel, somebody's grandmother is going to die.
Sean G.
There's one thing, John, that very often gets
John,
ignored.
you got something to say to Chris? Go right ahead. You don't have to hold back. Because Chris.
Don't hold back.
John is someone who is 100% affected by the COVID-19. That you say is just a sniffle.
I didn't say that. Do you have that on record? You want to make another bet, John?
I'm going to tell you like this,
make another bet?
The way you're talking
by the way,
is 100% like that. Right, yes, I did. I already did it. So you can start with that bullshit.
Where's the link?
On my live stream. Go watch it. Go ahead. I think it was yesterday.
Which one?
The last live
yesterday
stream.
Or 2 days ago?
My last live stream.
By the way, for everyone who's saying I'm an asshole, I let Sean off the hook for paying me the $50.
You're still an asshole. Oh. You also fucking accuse B-Ball of fucking stealing money.
No, basically. If I was,
you're a fucking asshole, Chris. You're an asshole. That's all it is. You're an asshole. Period. It's not. You don't just not an asshole because you've told me that if I just admit it, I don't have to pay you. That doesn't make you not an asshole because you've done enough stuff that make you an asshole. Period. I could
have made you pay $50, Sean.
But you didn't. Guess you should have. You're still an asshole regardless.
You remind me of
anyways.
the rich fuck I beat the shit out of for sitting on my bike.
John,
Well, shut up, Crashes. I'm so sick of your internet tough guy bullshit, dude.
That's what you do. You're on here doing that right now.
Crap. Shut up. No, I'm not. I'm presenting links and facts.
No, you're not presenting
Italy
linked
coronavirus.
You are presenting. Hang on, Crash. You are presenting You are presenting links. You are not presenting facts.
Yeah.
You're presenting. Wait,
absolutely
are
fact
you telling me
Italy's the 5th oldest country in the world by population?
I just want to know one thing: is an Inquirer a credible source?
This has nothing to do with Inquirer. This is Forbes.
Is the Inquirer a credible source?
This is Forbes.
Is the Inquirer a credible source?
Forbes is.
Is Inquirer a credible
Yes,
source?
it is. And
Okay,
Forbes is
then
too.
any source you share on my streams is full of shit if you think the
No,
Inquirer
it's not.
is a credible
That's not
source.
how logic and
If
reason
you
works,
think
Sean.
the Inquirer is a credible source, all your sources are shit to me.
Well, if you think Forbes is
I asked you a simple question. Is the Inquirer a credible source? You said yes, therefore all your sources are crap.
John Watts. Come in, Sean G.
What's up?
All right. How you doing?
I'm a little triggered.
a little
by some dumb shit. Like, seriously, dude, like the claims you make, Chris. You make it very clear that you don't give a fuck about anyone but yourself. And that's why we're in a situation we're in already. People that didn't give a fuck about anyone but themselves.
Can I just I've just come back. I was up in the hills. My phone battery died and
yeah, we remember we were here when that happened. You remember you telling us about it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was quite happy about that. It was good. And I had quite a beautiful, lonesome time in the hills under the stars. It was lovely. But I'm back, and what can somebody?
Did you have a good date with yourself? You guys
Great. I was going to ask him if that's what the foreplay was.
What I want to ask is what maybe. It's maybe best that Chris doesn't tell me this, but can somebody tell me what Chris Berry's stance on this?
Everything that's happening right now is media is hyped,
and we should all go back to work for the economy.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is,
I might.
Fun fact, Chris.
I'm
claim to be a tough guy. I have the felony record to back up that fact. So.
All right. Where do you have? Is it online? Can I look it up?
Why
John,
the fuck would I dox myself online?
Well, then shut your hole until you can prove that statement.
I might lose my shit again, Sean. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, man. I told you, man. Chris is on his own right now. He wants to spread bullshit. Well, how don't you have a conversation with someone who's directly affected with it, Chris? Huh? Go ahead.
Yeah. Talk to me, Chris.
What's up?
Give him the same stance. Say how everyone should go to work and all that shit, Chris. Since you know all, why don't you talk to someone who has a significant other is directly affected with this whole crisis going on that you think isn't a pandemic?
All right.
Wait,
so,
Chris, my partner is watching people die in front of her every day when she's at work. She's just done three 12-hour shifts back to back. And just, I mean, fuck. If you're trying to say that this is, I don't know, a hoax or it's being overinflated or fuck knows what, I can tell you. I mean, it's not my difficulty. Obviously, I'm not the one that's watching people die and telling their relatives that they're dead.
He's a moron.
But fuck me. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about, Chris? But let's hear it. Tell me.
He's a moron.
Yeah. One night, Chris.
Click.
Okay, so
You're not helping, Carlos.
So one thing I said earlier was that I think that if that did happen, and people started going back to work, or at least some of these shops and stuff were open, like small businesses and things, you can still quarantine a lot of these people, like the elderly, keep the old people's homes closed, have special shopping hours for the elderly, 5 to what are the early bird hours, like 4 to 5 or 4 to 6, right? Which they're already doing.
Who's gonna care for the elderly?
Ben. What's wrong with that, John Watson?
I don't get your point. I mean, what are you trying? Are you trying to say that the government sort of response to this should be that the lockdown is too much, that we should sort of, we should carry on as normal? Is that your?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I said, so, God. All right. So like I said, you can still have like special shopping hours for the elderly, keep the old people's homes closed to general public, keep a lot of the hospital safety precautions that they've established in place. Like if someone's having a baby, unfortunately the spouse can't come back, right? It's terrible, but maybe that is what has to happen. But to close down the world's economy, have record unemployment cases in the U.S. at 3.3 million, which is unheard of. And that's 1 month, by the way. The stimulus is $2 trillion. That's going to cover 1 month's worth of some economic stimulus. What if this goes 2 months? Where's the next package going to come from? We don't have that kind of money just sitting around idle. So at some point, this is going to have to be bypassed, no matter what you guys think and say.
Chris, open your fucking brain. Open your fucking brain. Really. Listen.
All right.
If 80, say, I mean, everybody is going to get this at some point. And what health services and governments are trying to do right now is to just slow that down. At the moment, we've got an infection rate and a death rate that doubles every 3 or 4 days in the countries.
That's not true. That's not true. No, it's not doubling every 3 or 4 days. If it was doubling every 3 or 4 days, this has been going on for a month and a half. It would be at like,
look at the
30%.
stats. Look
like 50%.
at the stats. Look at the stats of the infection rate and death rate. You haven't. You obviously haven't. But if you're contesting what I'm saying, you don't even fucking know what you're talking about. Right. This is something that is unprecedented and has to be dealt with.
It's not. How many people died of H1N1 until Obama called it a pandemic or did something about it? Wasn't it like 8,000 people? I read something like that.
Chris,
that's just the United States.
You're a fucking idiot.
Is that not correct? What I just said?
I don't give a fuck about H1N1. I got that. I had it.
Okay.
But
exactly.
Chris, the number of people that are dying from this is increasing at an exponential rate in every country. That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know what? Some people are going to die from it, but the majority of people aren't. Just like with the flu, just like with H1N1, just like with SARS, just like with swine and pig and whatever other supposed viruses they've had over the last 10 to 15, 20 years. It's I saw something, I know it wasn't exactly right. So every 2 to 4 years, there's these viruses, right? And everyone freaks out, says it's the end of the world, and then life goes on and everyone's just fine. Except in this case, the government really did shut down the world's economy and shut everyone out and told everyone to stay in and close down these businesses. And people are panicking and can't afford mortgages payments, and some people can't even afford food. So I'm just saying, when it gets bad enough, people are going to start rioting. You're going to see murders escalating because of stress. So so we kept some old people, some 90-year-olds alive from the virus, but some younger people were killed because of riots and things.
Chris, I've got to say, I'm fucking appalled with your.
I don't care, dude. I don't care what you say or what you think.
No, you don't fucking care.
Well,
I know
then,
you don't.
Okay, well then shut up.
Whoa!
Yeah, Chris.
All right.
It suddenly became Chris's channel where he can just
I'm
tell
just
people
saying,
to shut up.
I just said something of substance, so say something of substance or shut up.
Yeah, okay. Then shut up, Chris.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you.
Chris, nothing you said has substance. Shut up.
Yeah.
Everything I've said has substance.
Chris, nothing
shut
you're
up.
saying has relevance.
How
Shut
much
up.
better without you,
Shut up,
Sean?
no, Chris.
Sean, you need to stop being in your own show.
Under your rules, shut up. Chris, this is what I've sat back over the past 10 minutes and I've listened. This is what I think it is. I don't think Chris thinks this is fake. I don't think Chris thinks that no one's dying from this. I think Chris is scared as shit about what's going to happen.
That he's going to run out of money.
And I think, I think it's bigger than that. I think Chris is scared out of his mind and he doesn't know. And this is his way of venting his frustration about the situation.
Sean, I'll admit I am scared.
The problem with the only
everyone is
now,
scared,
Chris.
Sean.
Now listen, you're right. Here's the thing, Chris. Because I seriously, for the past 10 minutes, I literally did not go. Chris is an idiot. I was listening to you, Chris. Everyone is worried about what's next. Everyone. The only issue here is you acting as if the situation of the pandemic we're in isn't a pandemic. It is. If it wasn't, we wouldn't be having this conversation, and I wouldn't have this realization.
That's not true.
Chris, everyone's fucking scared about what next because we don't know.
It's so irresponsible, Chris, to try and make out that this is just some kind of media hype that we shouldn't really pay attention to. I can't stress that enough. If the kind of stuff that you're saying leads to people, I haven't finished, leads to people not self-isolating and not keeping themselves safe and preventing the transmission of this virus. That's bad. So what you're saying really, I've got to shut it down, and so should you. You need to shut your mouth.
All right, you guys want to tote what the mainstream media is saying? Listen, the mainstream media is loving this.
Where are you getting your information from? Where are you getting your information from?
People are glued to the TV and phones and internet
information from?
So scared.
Chris,
what are you talking about?
You said
personal experience. I know.
Oh, okay, so
everyone I know.
Are you saying that the sources? Are you saying the sources that you shared with us are full of shit?
Oh, the sources I share are about things that you can factually prove, like how many old people live in Italy.
Who are your sources?
Right.
Who are your sources?
It's the mainstream media.
Yep.
LA Times and
mainstream media. Mainstream media, Chris.
The same source.
You're not listening.
No, I'm listening. You said you guys can go ahead and listen to the mainstream media, what they tell, blah 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 blah. You are getting your information from them.
Yes, and so are we.
Yeah.
And then they cite their sources, and you go and read the sources.
Top 10 health scares of the decade, 2009.
Let's see. Yeah, hope maybe a source website right now.
2009, there were more novel viruses that threatened to kill us all.
Yeah.
There were more toxins in our toys, and we were told to worry about the junk eating.
And trust me,
yes.
It's not.
Some of these threats turn out to be almost non-existent.
Chris, I promise you, COVID-19 is not the only virus they're trying to make sure never gets out. or
I can
gets bad.
agree with that.
I don't want to say gets out.
Bird flu. One was bird flu. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah, and
COVID-19. So
SARS.
just
Oh, how can we
sorry,
forget about SARS?
Sean.
Yes.
One tiny
RSA.
Hang on,
pedantic thing which annoys me to hell.
What's that?
COVID-19 is not a virus.
Okay.
Anthrax.
Yes.
COVID-19 is the disease, which is caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus.
Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you. No, seriously, thank you. Because
the name of the virus, this literally is SARS, right?
Okay.
This is the second generation of SARS.
Okay. This is a mutated version of SARS, right? It's mutated itself to.
So in the same sense that flu is not one disease. Okay. It is a whole family of diseases that come from various different sources. They're all related in the same sense that all of us are mammals, but that doesn't mean that me and my cat are of the same species, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So all of the flus are different. All of the coronaviruses are their own subset.
Okay.
One of the subsets of coronaviruses are SARS viruses. This is one of the SARS viruses.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, because I didn't know that. Thank you.
And
like I
once
said,
again,
and so one thing that Chris mentioned, if this is a pandemic, flu should also be considered pandemic. Yes, most of the pandemics that we've had in history that are considered pandemics have been flus.
It's another, just another reason why I hate you as much as I do, Sean. I've joined, and I'm agreeing with Barney again. And it's all down to you, Sean. Really?
Hey, John. How much toilet paper did you waste on top of the hill while you were looking at the stars?
I just I will
all
wipe
of
my ass on and moss. I don't use toilet paper. I don't
use toilet paper.
Saving that clip.
Not when.
That was so right there.
Thank you, John.
If I'm in my house, of course, yes, I use toilet paper. But if I'm in the fucking middle of nowhere in the hills, no, I don't.
I just get a goat to lick it off.
Yeah,
if you wanna,
Why's got to be a goat, Barney? Damn, man.
I don't go anywhere without
we could have, if you talk about like philosophy, you could say like how many more people will be hurt by the virus versus by economics.
That's a good question.
And it's like you probably can't even compute how many more people will be hurt by economics than by the virus.
Chris, you're asking
like
your questions, your concerns.
Everybody, like everyone.
Your questions and concerns are great questions and concerns. The problem is you're interlapping them with a stupid thing of saying it's not a pandemic. Don't. Again, I get what you're saying. I get it. The question you just asked, that's a great question. Fucking question. That is a fucking insanely great question.
Yeah. So,
but question: how many people will be affected?
From the virus, disease, versus economically, what? Because it is a big deal. Because one of the things that I noticed, that I kind of was in a trigger mode that I couldn't get it out, and I apologize, Chris. Is that no matter how you slice this, we don't know what to expect. We all are flying by our blind wire right now. Like no one knows what's going to happen. They're trying. If what the government's doing right now is literally trying to help a situation that's not. That's the stimulus package, Chris, will not solve shit. It's just going to keep us from not starving. That's it. It is that big of a fucking deal. That's how big of a deal is that money has nothing to do with the curing or solving this pandemic. It only has to do with making sure your child doesn't go starving. Because Chris, trust me, This is a fucked up situation. The fact that no one's working, trust me, there isn't a politician, there isn't a fucking human being on this earth, well, probably a lot, but most majority, who are worried because they're not working. It's a fuck, like I said, and you were right earlier, Chris. For me, and this was a big problem I had, because up until about 2 weeks ago, I wasn't nowhere near the same boat. But I didn't think I thought the media was not doing nothing but hyping it. And again, I'm not directly infected by it, because no one I know has it, and I am still working. Oh, I haven't been working because of the rain, but that's not because of the same situation. But the realization is that I got a son. I got family. I got family that has pre-existing. My brother had a liver transplant. If there's anybody at risk, he's in the 99th percentile of gonna possibly get it. But the realization is no one can do nothing about it.
The most important thing just now is to.
I'll tell you after John finishes his monologue.
Johnologue.
Fuck.
Johnologue.
Come on, hit that Johnologue.
The most important thing we can do right now is to do this self-isolation thing, because I don't like to say it, but in the UK, and I think in the US as well, the health services are going to get overloaded within the next week or two. It's going to happen. It's
that's fear mongering. Can we not do that, please?
It's not fear mongering. That's the reality of it, Chris.
Absolutely, it is.
It's not fear mongering.
That's the reality of the situation.
That's
well,
not scary.
You know what they're telling
you
most people?
You
don't know. April is coming around. This thing might just miraculously disappear.
On the first? On the first. Well, worlds. There's something we got to tell you guys.
You just let me finish.
Oh, you're still going.
Yes. So in the UK, this week on Monday we had a lockdown. I mean, not a particularly enforced lockdown. But we're only going to see the positive results from that in about 20 days' time, because that's the period of time that the virus takes. You get infected, with 20 days later, you're either alive or you're dead, and we're not going to see any positive results from that for about 3 weeks from the day of the lockdown. And it's the same in the US. The health service in the UK, anyway, and that's what I know about. Is, I mean, fuck me. The health service in the UK has been on its knees for fucking years. Never mind this, and within the next week or so, the shit is going to hit the fan, and it's already really bad, and it's anybody who is trying to say that there is some kind of hoax, or the numbers are inflated or fucking whatever else, needs to really go away and shite on themselves and fuck off, right? Because this is a really, really big problem, and it's gonna be bad, right? And just fucking accept it, because it's.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Accept it. Do the best with what you can. That's why we're up here where we're at. And that's why we did what we did.
Hey, Sean.
Yes, sir.
I forgot what I was going to tell you.
Awesome.
Oh well. It'll come out.
Would that be a
No, it's a roast of John. Come on. I was just going to remind you of when we talked about the war and the propaganda and the single voice media.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind when you're listening to the news.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We are at war with the virus. There is only one right message.
I want to ask John how much he drank while he was up there staring at the stars.
That's irrelevant. We don't need to know the numbers. He's a flat earther. He's not going to give us correct ones.
Six pint cans of Pastilla.
Well, that took a minute to get out. Are you sure it was 6, or were you just seeing double and it was only 3, and you're highly affected by alcohol?
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say he's that guy that got struck by lightning. Six times? Oh, that's a lot. 66 times.
Sometimes get 6 and 16.
I'm reading an article or CDC.gov about H1N1 in 2009. It says estimated 150 was a huge estimate or a huge range. Between 151,000 and 575,000 worldwide died, which is insane numbers. But we didn't shut down economies. We didn't close down shops and stores. And that not only that, but that affected people under 65, which is most people.
Again,
60 million cases worldwide.
What is your huge hang-up with the economy being shut down? Every one of us on this panel have already discussed that.
Because we've never done that before.
I want to know what your huge problem with older people is.
Why have we never shut down the economy for these pandemics before is the question.
Probably because we have been... Oh, well, you didn't want an answer, or you just wanted to keep talking?
He just wanted to hear his voice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The reason is because we're learning more about viruses and things like that than we did before. That's why.
What did we learn then?
What did we learn? That it kills.
And the easiest way to keep
so H1N1 killed 500,000 people.
500,000 people. And what was the when was that? What was the 500,000 people when?
2009 to 2010.
So 2 years. So far, 2 years.
No.
2009 and 2010, right?
No, I didn't say and. I said 2010. This says during the first year.
So 1 year. Okay. Okay. So do you want to start with the measurements now, or do you want to start with them 2 months ago? Because we're well on the track to hit 500,000.
Yeah. Chris,
and that's my point. We didn't shut stuff down then.
Yeah, we need critical thinking. It says it perfectly, Chris. It says this. This is the he's saying this is the just for the quarantining. It says slowing down the spread of the COVID-19 benefits learning more about it and closer to a cure. The lives it saves maybe someone you know or maybe you. And that's exactly what the quarantine's for. It's just a little bit more time. We need more fucking time.
But we didn't do that with these other diseases.
Luckily, they didn't need the time. That's maybe why this is such a big deal, because they need the time. We just had that flu. Which flu was it? We had a flu that came around that we didn't expect, and never seen nothing like it. We didn't have a vaccine for it. People were getting super sick, and that was a big deal. I remember that. But the reason it didn't go into a pandemic is because later in the season, they were able to come up with a vaccine for it, so less people stopped getting sick. And
which one?
I don't remember. It was one of the flus. It was like maybe 3 years ago, I think, 4 years ago. I don't know exactly the number. I just remember it happening.
And the big issue is right now we can only treat symptoms that this stuff causes. We can't treat the actual cause of it. We can only treat the symptoms, which sucks.
And maybe just maybe we're doing this because we actually did learn something from some of the other viruses, like, reduce the spread.
Yeah, you're right, Chris. It's not a solution, but it's the only way. Probably, I mean, it's part of the reason why, part of the way for them to try to get some handle on this situation. The best, seriously, when you think about it, if it's a world panic What's the best way to get more time and try to save as many people? Quarantine. Quarantine means less of us are going to spread around. They get more time to try to figure something the fuck out. The part that would scare me is if they were running around talking about how they had the cure. All they need is the funding for it. That's when I would jump up for conspiracy. That's when I would jump up for foul play if that was being said.
Yep.
That sounds like something to me in my head would be said if this was bullshit, because that seems like something the government would do, has done. I don't think this is a situation that they're
That's not happening.
Yeah,
that's
not
not happening.
No. That when the second everyone should have seen this clearly. They are so hesitant to say how close they are to getting a vaccine for this. They're very hesitant on it for that reason, because the second they say we have one, that's when money becomes an issue. That's when the money part of it is a deal. That $2 trillion, they could have easily said, we're going to put $2 trillion for the vaccine. I would have been like, whoa, foul play. There are things
but normally,
those aren't happening.
Normally,
when stuff happens like for instance 9/11, I can't do the holograms on the fucking bombs. None of that makes sense. But the realization is that you have to look at it in logical steps. And thank you, Davros, every time I do this or talk about this, Davros really sticks into my head that I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy skeptic. I very much so want to know if it's right or it's wrong, and I will look at both sides of it. And the realization is man, they could have gone if the government was full of shit, the world governments were full of shit. They could have done so many other things that would have made more sense to benefit them. This is not benefiting them. Remember, they make money from us. So if we're not working, they're not getting money. The money that they're putting into that stimulus package and all that shit, that comes from their rainy day holes for their bullshit that they're using to make sure we don't go fucked. And yes, we're all scared, Chris. Every fucking body. And if you're not, you're all full of fucking shit.
Okay.
This is a disaster. This is a disaster for world governments. It's a fucking disaster.
Yeah, when usually they're trying to figure out how they can fill their pockets. Now they have to do everything to make sure that we don't die, so they can continue to fill their pocket. If you want to look at it like that, that's fine. They have to make sure they got to do everything in their power to make sure that they have enough people still alive to do corrupt shit against. There you go, Chris. That's a good conspiracy. Exactly. That's the best way to do it.
They got to keep us alive.
Yeah.
If I may, I wanna try and entertain Chris's idea or Trump's idea for a bit, and so let's say we do just say fuck it, let everybody who can survive, and everybody else die, right? Eugenics mode. The only way that could work without crashing the economy in itself is if we literally deny medical care for coronavirus, because it is very infectious. There is an estimate of something like 70% of the people having to get infected before we get herd immunity, before we as a species become resistant to the virus. If you just let everybody get to work and everybody get ill, and everybody that gets ill seek medical attention, our medical services cannot bear the brunt of 70% of the people coming to the hospital all at once.
Yes.
Right.
And the medical actually makes up quite a bit of our economy.
No, it's literally people being too sick to work, people being too and the medical services not being sufficient to care for all of them and care for all of the other medical needs that we commonly have.
Exactly. All the regular medicines, all the regular bandages, all the regular time that's put in, every hospital bed, all of that's important. And with the spread of a disease like this, our hospitals would be overwhelmed. Our doctors would, imagine having to go to a doctor that is sick, has the coronavirus, to spread around the disease while you were trying to go there to get better.
The important thing about this is that the death rate, which
I got an email from my primary care doctor,
which appears to be about 1%. Excuse me, 1%. That is with a fully functional health service. When the health service of a country gets overwhelmed, then the death rate rises to 3 or 4% death rate. So and that's what's going to happen. It happened in Italy, Spain. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in the US. And really, I can't even put it into words. If anyone is trying to say that this is some kind of hoax or something like that, it's so irresponsible. All we can do now is to try and do the right thing, to lessen to slow or lower the rate of infection. Pretty much everyone, I think, unless miraculously this thing mutates and dies out like SARS, everyone is going to get infected with this. And we could just ride it out. It doesn't do anyone any favors talking about hoaxes or fucking Chris. I'm appalled. I've always been pretty much appalled by everything that you've got to say, but now, really,
substance. Remember the substance part.
Fuck.
Damn. Point, Chris.
What the fuck was funny about that?
Timing.
Huh?
Yeah. Timing. Like everyone else said.
What the fuck was funny about that? What the fuck? Huh? Fucking somebody tell me what the fuck was funny about that?
His timing.
Right?
Yep.
Timing.
Yep.
Go drink. Go.
Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious, isn't it? Yeah, it's funny as fuck.
The timing part. Yeah.
His timing was. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're saying is important.
Very important.
But his timing was spot on.
And what, Chris, what do you have to say about that? What do you have to say? Really? Well, what the fuck do you have to say?
About what?
About fucking what?
John, don't feed the troll.
Huh?
John, this is just exactly what I warned you about last night with the other person.
True stance alone is here. Yeah. We have a discussion.
What you're saying is important.
Who's that?
His timing was spot on.
He's got their mic open or whatever.
Play that.
Oh, okay. Tusk, mute yourself. You have feedback.
It's your watch page, Tusk.
Okay, I've had enough of this. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one, Barney.
Hi, Barney.
Later, Barney.
Chris.
I just got one thing to say before I sign off here, Sean, and that's truth stands alone, knows nothing about bacon.
How about this?
True bacon
How about this? We're going to put a stop to this. Jose may not do it. Modern day debate may not do it, but I will. Truth and Crash. Do you guys want to have a debate here tomorrow? Let's
What?
end this. Not
There is no debate. I am the bacon god. I am the first, the one, the only, and Christ knows nothing about bacon. That's it.
Shit.
Debate over. I've won.
Shit. Nope, we're having Sean. Just tell me a time.
tomorrow, noon Pacific Standard Time.
Not a problem. And when truth stands alone doesn't show up, he must then concede that I am the true bacon guy.
No, you're a pretender to the throne. And what exactly are we debating? There's nothing to debate. I understand that Canadian bacon is ham, and Christ thinks it isn't.
Oh no!
He eats vegan bacon. What else is there to debate?
Canadian bacon is only cleverly disguised ham. My argument is that the bacon y'all eat on the rest of the world is not the lovely smoked maple pork bellies that we have here in the U.S.
And how many smoked versions of bacon do you want me to provide here that we do in the UK? I even cold smoke my own with peat.
We will settle this tomorrow. Bring your citations and I'll bring mine.
So what you guys are saying is that you smoke a lot.
Yep.
I do. Oh, different topic.
Truth stands alone. Truth stands alone. Do you want to hear?
I'm seriously jumping off here for a little bit, guys. I got to go cook dinner.
Yeah, I'm about to end this anyway. We had a good.
Later, you pretender.
Later, you false deity.
You want to hear a joke?
Sorry, John, were you going to ask something?
I was just wondering if you want to hear a joke.
Sure.
Chris Berry.
How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman?
Many.
None.
That was rude. I just got that. That was rude. Damn. Jesus, John.
I hope you can take that. It was that's the kind of jokes that I remember. Just the ones that make you go, oh fuck, that's bad.
It's all right. I understand Englishmen have no sense of humour, John. Don't worry, and I understand that it's even worse as you're a flat earther.
Englishmen.
Hey.
What are you talking about, Englishmen?
Fuck's sake.
Oh.
Farmer's boy, I know you are actually from England, but you see, this is something that John, because he's a flat earther and he doesn't understand geography, he doesn't understand that Scotland is part of England.
It's not.
You motherfucker.
Ooh, that's low.
See, I get to piss two people off with one comment. It's great, you see.
Oh, we could. This could grow arms and legs.
Hey John, are you on a computer or a cell phone?
Cell phone.
Oh, okay. Do me a favor. And when you get a chance,
I don't really.
When you get a chance, go to watch this stream again around the 3 hour mark. About the 3 hour mark, maybe a little bit, about 2 hours 45 minutes, and watch from there because this is like a whole new thing for you.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying you should watch it. But I did notice everyone coming in. What did a Flat Earther show just end? Yeah, Montreal says, because I was like, geez, everyone is coming in now. I may have to keep streaming. And Montreal's all, what else is there to do? We're all in complete lockdown. Good point, Montreal.
Well, not complete lockdown.
Well,
to end the show, Montreal and Tersh could come in, and Montreal could finally ask Tersh that question that they want to ask him 3 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if he wants to come in. If he wants to come in not hot.
I'm still trying to figure out that joke.
Was that the one?
Well, I'm going to hop off for about an hour or so. I got to eat some dinner.
I'm not sure. Have a good one, Sean.
Yeah, we'll know. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Later, everybody.
You didn't understand the joke that I made.
Does that surprise you, John?
It doesn't surprise me. Did you just say that, Chris? That you didn't understand about the potatoes?
Well, maybe it's just not a funny joke.
Have you ever heard of the
I mean,
Irish potato famine?
I guess I've heard of it, but
it was a
so
fucking.
So why is it supposed to be funny? It's
another disaster in Ireland, and I mean, it's black humor, and a bit under the belt, so to say.
Yeah, the same colour the Irish were because they couldn't get any potatoes.
Is that implying like they didn't have any other food to eat too, or something? Like all they were eating was potatoes?
Well, broadly speaking, yeah, it was a complete fucking and utter disaster for the population of Ireland, the potato famine. Yeah, everyone else got it apart from Chris.
It's just not funny. I mean, I get it. It's just not funny, I guess.
Oh, I think even well, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't know his name.
Oh, whoa! Stop! GPS. I don't allow that racist or baconist talk in my shit. Don't ever post that in here again. That's right. I deleted your post. Do not ever post vegan fucking bacon in my chat.
Oh shit!
But delete the other ones.
Fuck that.
Good brainery. Thanks, brainery.
Brainery. The only problem is I'm not Irish.
Vegan.
All right. Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah. Hey, John, do you see that text?
I'm English.
Brainery put in the live stream text.
No, English. Chris, you're an astwat. I'm British.
No, my ancestry is from England. Yeah.
How far back?
I mean, like, just a few generations.
You're not fucking British.
I said my ancestry is, my lineage is British.
You are
John Salas. John Salas was like one of my great grandfathers or something like that.
We don't know anything to do with you.
Fleming. Is Fleming a popular British name?
It is a British name. Are you trying to say that you're British? It's one of these bullshit claims that you're actually British. You're actually really? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, as far as my heritage, yeah, I'm being serious.
Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck
right
off.
Fleming on one side and Salas on the other side.
And what?
Salas? I think it was John Salas, and I don't know what the Fleming's first names are.
Doxing your ancestors, bro. Damn. Fuck.
One of the Salas, they moved. I think they were in they moved to the States. They went to, was it somewhere like one of the southern states, like Tennessee or somewhere, or no, Mississippi, and they founded one of the cities.
Fleming. I mean, Alexander Fleming. Have you heard of that cunt?
I haven't.
You haven't heard of? You fuck me. You haven't heard of Alexander Fleming?
I don't know who.
You have the neon back up, Sean.
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
fuck
my lord!
Fuck me. You say your heritage is Scottish, and you don't know who Alex.
Not Scottish.
My heritage is Scottish. Who is this person?
He discovered penicillin.
Oh, good on him. Didn't he also kill a lot of people then?
No.
Yeah, penicillin kills people.
Fuck me.
No, I'm good.
I know, it's quite something, isn't it?
What's the problem?
Mainly your understanding, I guess.
I don't know some random guy named Alexander Fleming.
Wouldn't it be lack of understanding, Sean?
Sir Alexander Fleming.
Well, he said, "What's the problem?" Oh yeah, you're right then. Thank you, Truth, the bacon god.
You hear that, Crisis? When you replay the end of this, Sean referred to me as the bacon god, not you, bitch.
Yeah,
right.
Let me make this
Someone
clear.
was about to,
at no time will any bacon god of mine ever, and I repeat, ever put pineapple on a pizza.
Right. Someone was about to deliver the details of who Alexander Fleming is, and it's very relevant right now.
It is.
So yes, fucking right it is.
Why?
Whoever was going to do that, please do it. Please carry on.
What? So Alexander Fleming, winner of the Nobel Prize in 1945, discovered penicillin. Penicillin is what gave rise to antibiotics. You think that might be slightly relevant at the moment?
No.
Okay.
All right, maybe a little bit.
Oh, and by the by, he was, of course, Scottish.
That doesn't help.
Just sort of throw that in there. Sir Alexander Fleming. Can't
You
believe
shove
you've never heard of him.
your arse, Chris.
I don't even know what the hell. What the hell? Like going to war in the Discord chat.
Are they?
I don't know what they're talking about. Only person that's posted anything that I understand is Brangery.
What, discussed vegan bacon? Yeah. How can vegan have any meat?
Yeah, and that was the other part that changed everything around, made me not so mad at Chris. Earlier they were talking about that, and Chris made a very good point. Stop calling vegan bacon meat.
Yeah, it's not meat.
It's definitely not meat.
Definitely. That's the whole point of it being vegan.
Call it like vegan slud, like goo or something, whatever it's made of.
Mm-hmm. That is one thing I'll never have to worry about. I'll never have to worry about Chris coming in here with a vegan argument. His state won't allow it. It's against the law to be vegan in Texas.
This barbecue has a vegan option. It's called fuck off.
You know how some people are baptized in Texas? They cowtize you and you just eat your first steak. You don't even need teeth. It's so fucking it's wonderful.
Oh dear. Vegan.
Yeah, that vegan.
There's plenty of room for all God's creatures.
Sean, would you please ban GPS? Because look what he's posting again.
What are you doing, GPS?
Oh!
I'll put you on probation, man. I will. I'll do it. I'll do it like right now. I don't.
It's not your channel, remember, Sean. Just settle down.
No. The stream is yours, but the panel is mine.
Yeah.
You fucking what?
Yeah. Yes. Every time we talk, you say, "Whose stream is this?" Yours, John. But this is my panel.
No, what?
Okay,
what
John. Can you do this?
What I say is,
hey, John. Can you do this? Can you do this? If this is yours, do that.
I'm gonna get you.
Not right now. You're not. You're on lockdown.
Oh, piss off.
Yeah, we're on lockdown right now, John. You ain't doing shit.
GPS, what sort of weirdo are you?
First of all, candy corn are gross all in themselves. What is wrong with you, man? Oh, I know what's up. He's in lockdown right now, and GPS don't drink, but GPS is drunk out of his mind right now. That's the only thing I can think of. Tusk, no, your volume is insane. Like earlier, I thought I heard you, but you were really low. And if you've been trying now, I don't hear you at all.
No, don't hear a thing.
It'd be really good to hear from Tusk. He's an Edinburgher. Yeah. If he can successfully get his sound sorted out, that'd be good.
Tusk, if you are talking, your name isn't even lighting up. Nothing's coming through.
Yeah, you're not even lining up.
No, not getting a thing.
Tusk, try leaving and coming back again, because it could actually just be Discord being a bitch.
Yeah, I checked. You're not server muted or anything. We should be able to hear you.
I can feel a good, like a really good, healthy argument about beavers.
Squirrel. Where the hell did that go? Or what beavers?
We had beavers right at the start, didn't we?
Let me see. I'm going to do this. I'm going to check and see if anyone else is live. If no one is live, I'll keep going. But I'm getting hungry and tired.
It's such a shame that that Chris left.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about real quick. John Jones, if anyone knows this, I'm going to talk some UFC for a second. But John Jones got arrested the other day, Thursday morning, Friday morning, I guess it would be called, for alleged DWI, which if you're part of the UFC server, go there. It has the live, or not the live, the recorded DUI stop by New Mexico Albuquerque State or Police Department. The whole thing, from pulling him out of the car, doing the test, to putting him in the car. And I'm telling you guys right now, that man is fucking sloshed out of his mind. Also, negligent use of a firearms. Originally, they were called to the area after a report of gunfire. After pulling him out of the car, arresting him, and searching his car, they found a weapon with a spent shell next to it under the seat. Possession of an open container, which in the video you will see them pouring out. And then no proof of insurance, which is basically nothing. But yeah, this is his second DUI. DWI is the same thing. It says DWI means you're twice the legal limit. It's his second DUI, but his third driving offense, or driving. Yeah, it'd be an offense. I was gonna say refraction, but if damn, I fucking destroyed that word. Basically, it was more than a misdemeanor. They're saying that everything on his charges aren't going to be a felony, but that was also before the quote unquote results from the blood and breathalyzer at the station. So yeah, he's fucked. They actually just so this all happened Thursday night. Last night, they actually officially arrested John Jones. As to what's going on from there, I don't know yet. I'm still getting information. So I thought I'd just let everyone know that it's into the MMA. It is part of the UFC, or the UFC shit server. Now you guys can go and get some more information. I'm going to be throwing a lot of information in about that. And tonight are some fights. I got to get all the timing and all that stuff, and then I'll be able to share it and do all that. But that will be over at the UFC shit server that I have. That link is also, before I say it, yes, it's also in the server. Just sits under my MMA server. And you guys can join that. It's free fights. You guys, anytime I get fights, I watch them there. I watch random fights just whenever I'm bored and I want to watch fights. I go to Discord and share it so you guys can watch that. Luckily, there's got to be at least 5 people in the server who, if I don't order it, they have links, or they ordered it and they share it. So the amount of people isn't a problem anymore, and it's free. As far as I'm concerned, I took my little there was a if you want to donate in there, a little bot that would come up in that server for it. Don't worry, I don't donate to me at all, unless I've said, hey, this is a pay-per-view fight that I've gotten, and it cost me money, and then those are where the donations work. But if they're free links or somebody else in the server is showing us their feed of it, yeah, don't donate. There's no reason for that shit. The only time I ever do that is when I'm trying to get these big groups of people to watch the fights, and I've already solved that problem. That was a problem we had before, where only 10 can join a actual live little thing when I do this when I go live. They can only hold 10, but multiple people can do it. And if that becomes the case, I'm going to use a hangout or a meetup, and we can have a lot of people watching the fight. So for those of you who came around when that was an issue, let me see. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I know I'm going to end the stream, but I may go live, or I may go live right before the fights, or I may go live during the fights and just get like a live reaction type situation. But if I do, it's going to be on my UFC shit channel. So if you're not if you don't know that channel, I don't even know if that channel is in here. Hang on. Wow, my UFC shit channel is not even in here. Oh, what kind of person am I? Well, if you type in UFC shit, you guys are going to see that little the guy, the question mark with the guy. That's my icon, so you'll be able to find it. Go to the UFC link, the UFC shit server. All the information's there. You'll be able to find the live links and all that good stuff. I talk about MMA all the time. Sometimes I go into the voice chat and we just sit there bullshit talking about fights and shit. So go join it if you like fights. Probably gonna be doing a lot of talking about John Jones tonight because there's a lot more information, and that's where all the information I get is gonna go. So if you want to know that, go check that out. Now that I'm done self-promoting, guys, what are you guys up to? Anyone got anything planned besides drinking, doing pointless memes, GPS?
Keep winding up the flat earther that is John Watson. But I've also put a link in for a little song just to get the point across about the virus.
Is that the fucking song?
Queen.
Is that fucking whatever, fucking stay inside one or whatever?
No, that is the Queen Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh. I'm trying to find, because there's a song out that I thought was awesome. I'm trying to find it real quick, and I'll end it with that. Gotta find it. I think my girl put it in my mailbox. Hang on.
Is that?
I tell you what. You Irish cunt. Till the very, very end. Until we're at the gates of hell. Maybe then we can join hands and fight together. But until then, go away and shite on yourself.
I'm not sure who you're talking to.
Yeah, that apart from the British people on this panel, like, who the hell are you even referencing, you flat earther?
Yeah.
We have no, like, that was so out of left. Like, I'm not really sure who you were talking to.
Weird fucking bother your head, you cunt. Don't fucking do it. Don't fucking fuck off.
Back at the ranch.
Okay, so this is
what the hell seriously, you need to get help, John.
You need to get fucking help, you fucking Irish cunt. Don't fucking talk to me.
Oh, okay.
Don't fucking dare insult the Irish like that. I'm worse than any of them.
All right, guys. I'm gonna play the song. Go to the YouTube page. Actually, I'll share it here. You guys can see it here. I hate Stan making you guys do all that, but this is the most awesome song in the world. I'm going to end the stream on this. So, guys, I do appreciate you guys being here, and the people that were here earlier. I do appreciate it, John. I do hope your significant other all works out well, and you guys.
know what the funny thing is?
What's that? What's the funny thing?
But the funny thing is, after me saying that,
the funny thing is, you have no sense of humor.
The truth stands alone. He and I could actually just shake hands and give each other a pat on the back and say yeah, and have a fight. Because that's how things roll in this part of the world.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I hear you.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
And now you fixed it at the very end.
I know, Peter. I bought a new headset and it only works in the front of my PC and only if I change the decibel meters and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Fuck it.
No worries. No, I go live every day. At least now you know it works, and at least now you're here, and at least we now know you're a foreigner as well.
Fuck you. I'll plug it and it won't fucking work tomorrow.
Just don't unplug it. Leave it there.
Truth stands alone. Of course, I'm. I'm just busting your balls, obviously.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead.
As long as you promise me that you won't cop them, John, I don't have a problem.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I'm definitely gonna stop now.
You do that as a courtesy.
You guys can join that live link and hear the song. But I'm gonna play that song to everyone else. I gotta go. I'll come back in a little bit. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it though. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and play this now. Enjoy it, and then I'll see you guys around and tomorrow.
You need to grow a brain on your own. Lock it down and isolate and stay the fuck at home. If you think you're not at risk here, you're living in a dome. It spreads faster than a hooker's leg, so stay the fuck at home. I need the gym, I need the beach, I hear you bitch and moan. You need to grow a brain cell and stay the fuck at home. But I feel fine, I don't feel sick. I'll go out on my own. How thick are you, you selfish prick? Please just stay the fuck at home. From LA through to Berlin, from Wuhan to Rome, there's people dying every day, so stay the fuck at home. If you need to contact family, use Facebook, Skype, or phone. We've got the fucking internet, so stay the fuck at home. The only way to slow it down is isolate, not roam. Please help the world get back on track and stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home, stay the fuck at home. Don't you be a fucking dick, please stay the fuck at home.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Be safe. Enjoy conversation, and I will see you guys the fuck later. Peace.
Purchase your tracks today.